Welcome to Feybreak Island, Palworld's newest landmass and bringing with it a ton of new features and pals. So prepare to journey with me in this 100 days video to complete Feybreak Island and even face the newest dreaded raid boss, Xeno-Lord. Will I succeed in conquering Feybreak Island? Let's find out. And so after the initial cutscene, it was straight to work, building my first crafting bench, getting the stone axe and a stone pickaxe, getting to work mining up the stone and getting some wood in the process, as well as some palladium fragments we were going to need to make our power spheres. I had already gotten a land ball as well. So right now we had already got our first tools, our first pal. We were feeling pretty damn unstoppable. I'd gone ahead and decided to make a bunch of power spheres as well and spent some time catching up some more of the land balls and the starting pals in the starting area. I figured why not? Obviously we don't really have too much. I didn't even bother weakening them at all. I just wanted to try and get some XP so that we could get to the Feybreak Island as fast as possible. We've got some chicken pies here. I want to capture some of these guys so we can get some eggs and get them in a ranch because we're going to need them for lots of cakes. I then stumbled across a dinosaur and I really wanted this dinosaur. It was level 16 however, so I was a little bit lower level than it, only at level 9, but I figured I've got a mega sphere, let's try my luck, weaken it down using Cjthecheesedj and a couple of the other pals that I had with me. It almost destroyed my entire health bar in one attack. Thankfully I was left on a little bit of HP and I left Cjthecheesedj to try and pretty much bitch slap this dinosaur into submission so that I could try and throw my mega sphere towards it. Cjthecheesedj was doing some serious work though until he got nuked by the dinosaur's dragon blast attack. And I unfortunately also got nuked by the dinosaur. Now I'll never know if I catch it. Okay, good to know I didn't catch it. Upon respawning, I found a lucky land ball as well. We could hear it before we saw it, so I knew there was a lucky one nearby, and I got to work on trying to capture this guy. 33%. I'm not even going to throw a pal out. I don't want to risk killing it. Well, I might have to be honest, because that thing is not taking a lot of damage. Okay, here we go. I don't really want to die. I feel like dying will cause it to despawn, but that should be enough to catch it. Let's go. Lucky. Oh, and it has another one, an internal engine. I'm going to build a power box here real quick, just so I can see what that new passive skill that we got, because I haven't seen that one before. Oh shit, max stamina plus 75%. This effect is only valid for rideable powers. Looks like we're going to need to breed this land ball with something to get something really good. So after a super successful day one, I then ventured out during the night to try and catch some of the nighttime powers that we could find, such as this daydream. Now I also wanted to try and find a tombat as well because we were going to need those guys for mining. However, instead I settled on capturing up all of these hoot crates as well as a fox spark in the area. There was just a huge pal brawl going on here, so I capitalized on that and just threw as many spheres out as I could. Just throwing balls out to try and catch what we can. I want that XD. I have no idea what we're catching right now, but I'm just throwing the balls out. Looks like we did get some. Not entirely sure what, but we did get some. That's what matters. Lost the chicken pie, but that's fine. And I lost my life. Shield's as big as me. This is perfect. This is exactly what I need. Day 2 continued on with me capturing pretty much every pal in the area. Obviously, catching pals was our best source of XP at the moment, so I wanted to try and get as many of them as I could. Plus, they also gave us the resources from capturing them, so I figured why not. We managed to catch fox sparks as well as a cremis as well. I then went ahead and set up another power box and rearranged my team so that we had the optimal pals with us at the moment. I then spotted some gum mosses with the flowers on their heads, so I obviously needed to get one of these guys. I'd probably never see them again, but I needed a gum moss with a flower on its head. So I went ahead, setting up another power box, building myself some basic structures like the bed and a small little base that I could sleep for the night. And then I ventured out for the second night, trying to get this life monk effigy. I am going to drown because I cannot get out of this water and I got no stamina. There is no way for me to get out of this water. That is so annoying. Ah, god damn it. Thankfully, upon respawning in my new base location, there was a tombat over the water. So I went ahead, threw a power sphere trying to capture it and successfully caught myself a tombat. Now we had a dedicated level 2 miner so we could mine metal ore. I placed down my furnace, made myself a shield and got a fox sparks to work, smelting up some of the ingots. I also crafted up some more power spheres and I was just generally progressing the base level so that I could slowly make my way to have 2 bases across the map by completing the power box mission. Right now we're just completing our journey stuff, so we're crafting up the normal parachute. It also wants us to unlock fox sparks harness, but I don't really want to waste the resources on it, to be honest. Not sure I'm the biggest fan of doing that, to be honest. Now I made myself up some armor and a parachute. I also wanted to make myself some metal tools. However, I couldn't spot the high quality workbench when it was literally literally right next to the metal tools. So I decided to head out and make my way further out into the world, starting by heading off to the Chillet boss. Now I was level 15, so I was a little bit higher than anticipated for the Chillet fight, but that would just mean the fight would be easy. I also caught various pals along the way, such as Life Monk and Tansy, just because extra XP, and then we finally came face to face with our first boss, Chillet. We're going to throw some frag grenades here. Huh? Oh, they might have been too far. Yep. That was a complete waste of 2 frag grenades. That's fine. I'm going to take the good old-fashioned pickaxe to the face. All right, we're going to put Lamball away here just because I don't want to kill the Chillet. I want to capture it. Let's go. Level 11 Chillet. We got it. After capturing the Chillet, I continued exploring the map when I found one of the new additions to the Feybreak update. NPCs that ask you to emote with them. So, obviously, I went ahead and emoted with her, and we got a bunch of decent-ish stuff and a makeshift assault rifle schematic as well as some basic resources. So I was pretty happy with that. The next day, I slowly made my way up to Pen King's portal, I guess you could call it, so that we could go ahead and try and face down Pen King. Now, Pen King was level 15. I figured we should be okay at level 17 to defeat him, but I did slightly forget that he has all those pen gullets with him. Oh, I forgot about all the pen gullets that are here as well. Let's see how we go. We're just going to hide behind this little pillar here. Lamball, all up to you. Lamball is getting absolutely destroyed here. Oh shit, I am too. Just gonna hide behind the pillar. All right, apparently, yep, that's exactly how I planned for this to go. Now, after getting completely obliterated by Pen King and his minions, I headed back to the base and made myself up some metal tools, such as the pickaxe and the hatchet. I also went ahead and made myself up a new mega shield, as well as a new set of armor and a 3-shot bow. So at least this way, I could go ahead and actually deal some damage to Pen King along the assistance with my pals. I also went ahead and made some additions to the base, such as a stone pit, as well as the pal equipment table as well, so that I could finally make some gear for my pals and use them. And with that, I made myself the Xthecheesedj saddle, and we now had a mount to get around on, which was much quicker than bloody walking everywhere on foot. I can tell you that much. I was so grateful to have this guy. So with all my new gear, I decided it was time to face Pen King again. However, this time on entering his area, there was a lucky pen gullet. So obviously I needed to try and catch this guy before I fought Pen King. However, once again, he had a butt ton of minions, and he actually aggroed on me this time instead of my pal. So it was just a recipe for disaster. Ooh. Fucking hell, alright, well, I don't think we're ready for Pen King. So after my terrible performance with Pen King, I then decided to continue exploring, and we found an NPC camp where there was a Rabunny in a cave. So obviously me being the kind overlord freed him from his slave captors and decided to make me his slave captor. I also discovered my first cave as well as the Rain Syndicate Tower and headed into the cave where we found some carrying lotuses, which eventually, once you collected enough of these, you could actually use them to increase the player base stats, which was really good. I also caught a Mao while in the dungeon as well. I just figured, why not? We haven't seen these guys before. And finally, the boss at the end of the dungeon was a Tombat, which obviously I wanted to capture because it was going to be another level 2 miner that we could use to mine a bunch of metal around the base. Let's go, we got him. I also grabbed the loot at the end of the dungeon, netting myself some rubies and some schematics. I then continued venturing out, stumbling across new pals. Sparkit over here. Obviously, I needed the electric organs, and I also just needed more XP. So I was pretty happy about that. We were finding chests out in the wild, capturing new pals, doing more dungeons. I found a Rudy at the end of this dungeon as well, with a bunch of minions that I managed to catch, so I was pretty happy about that. We were just trying to grind to get as high level as quick as possible. Now, obviously, I didn't want this to be super overtuned, as I didn't want to hit the max level super fast, because we would be extremely underprepared for that. So I had the XP multiplier at 3 times the amount of XP that you would normally get. And then I eventually found the settlement as well, where I was able to sell my goodies that I'd collected from the dungeon so far and buy whatever I wanted to with my cash. So I was pretty happy. It was a solid amount of profit that I made from doing the dungeons, and I happily sold them. I also checked the Pal Trader. He didn't have anything decent worth buying. I continued running caves for the rest of the day with Xthecheesedj, catching some Killamari, Melpacker as well. They were the boss at the final section of the cave, so I figured why not? We hadn't caught them. Extra XP, you know, all that good stuff. Plus, they give us a bunch of wool, and they're actually better producers of the wool than Lamball is. Plus, we caught an Artesian one, so I was like, yeah, we can definitely use that. And then I went ahead and caught the Alpha as well. Just participating in some pal cannibalism, feeding Xthecheesedj its own venison. It's a tad bit morbid, but I'll do it. He's hungry, he needs to eat. I also finally managed to capture myself the Dinosaur that I wanted from earlier. except just a different Dinosaur in a different part of the map. But hey, it still counts, and it did have Motivational Leader with it as well. All right, here we go. Our first NPC boss. Let's see if we can kill him. I'm thinking we're going to be fine, to be honest. He does have his machine gun, though, which is a little scary. I'm not going to lie. What did we get? Some coins, some assault rifle ammo, and a bounty token. Cool. We'll take it. All right, we're going to go ahead and free... I can't remember what these guys are called. I don't remember what these guys are called. We're going to find out in a second, I guess. What is it? Wixen? Nox. Okay, cool. We'll take Nox. Nice. So I continued exploring the map, finding myself an Incineram up here surrounded by a bunch of the Syndicate thugs. Now, I really wanted this Incineram. He was going to be a really good addition for the team, sort of this early stages of the game. Now, he was only level 10. However, I was able to... I wanted to make sure that he wasn't one of these guys' pal. So, thankfully, he did go into the ball, and I was able to capture him. However, it did cost me my life in the process, but I was still happy because we managed to get ourselves an Incineram. Alright, here we go. We've just found our second NPC. This guy's only level 10. He's a Dine and Dasher apparently, so he obviously needs to suffer for that. Go get him. We're going to use Incineram here. Kind of want to try and capture him. That is so funny that you can capture them all. Is it bad if I just spend the rest of this time trying to capture this guy? I mean, I probably don't want to waste all my power spheres, to be honest. I'll just kill him. Alrighty, we've found another settlement with a Vixie, I think, and thankfully all these friendly dire houses have killed all the Syndicate thugs. So thanks very much, guys, appreciate it. And now they're feasting on their bodies. That's a fair enough reaction from someone trying to kill you. So after exploring and reaching the location that I was trying to get to, which was this base spot just here, main reason being because there were a bunch of metal nodes here that we could capitalize on to try and farm up a bunch of our metal. Thankfully, I had reached the goal of being able to build 2 base locations, so that's exactly what I did, and I chucked the Tombats out here to get to work on mining up these metal nodes. I then went ahead and started bringing everything over from the old base into the new base. Now, this was quite tedious because I obviously hadn't unlocked the grappling gun yet or made the grappling gun. And so a lot of the resources here were sort of heavy. I did want to bring the stone from the stone pit because we had mined a lot of it. It was just going to take a long time to get it all over there. The next day was spent pretty much just setting up the basic structures that we needed at this new base. Some storage chests. I needed to also make some beds for the pals as well, which I was going to tackle shortly. I had a feed box for them, but I also wanted to get a research station down so we could start that ASAP. I also built a crusher, some plantations, as well as the wood and stone farming structures. So I slowly made progress on the new base location, building some more plantations, the beds, as well as the expedition station. However, I hadn't actually defeated Zoe and Grisbolt yet, so I didn't even have the means to actually send any of our pals on an expedition. So that was our next goal, going ahead and trying to defeat Zoe and Grisbolt. However, before I went to take on Zoe and Grisbolt, I needed to seek revenge against the Pen King. So I returned back to his little dungeon, I guess you could call it. I brought out Incineram. Why? I don't know, because he is fire and so he's weak to the Pengullets and the Pen Kings. But hey, I was going to give it my best shot, and thankfully Incineram absolutely chunked Pen King with that one attack that he popped off, which, I mean, it was good because now looking at it, Pen King is also ice, so he kind of had a neutral status effect with Incineram, which was good. And I wanted to try and catch some of the Pengullets that were here as well. Thankfully, this one here that we did catch actually had Ferocious, which was going to be pretty big coming down the line. But Pen King was getting taken out pretty effectively by Incineram. I did want to capture the Pen King as well, though. We do have the heavyweight module as well for our spheres. Perfect. Pen King collected. Back at the base, I just needed to build a cooler box so that I could get access to base level 10, which means we can now make 2 bases. Woo! Let's go. All right, cool. We're going to go out and do some killing and stuff. We're going to leave these guys here. They should be able to just keep working on what they're doing. I'll queue up a bunch more ore as well so that we can get that all smelted up. These Tombats are doing a great job of mining everything, which is perfect. It was then time to face Zoe and Grisbolt. Now, we were slightly over-leveled for these guys, mainly because I just spent a lot of time working on the base and capturing what I came across. So we were slightly over-leveled for Zoe and Grisbolt. I do think it's recommended to be at least level 15 when fighting these guys. But I did have my Xthecheesedj with me, which was a normal type POW, but all of its moves were stone type, so we were able to make pretty quick work of Zoe and Grisbolt. Oh yeah, Sand Tornado does a lot of damage. Look at this little tiny Hoot Crate going against the freaking Grisbolt. That's so funny. And just like that, Zoe and Grisbolt are done. So after defeating Zoe and Grisbolt, I could now send my pals on expeditions. So that's exactly what I did. Headed back to the base, queued up a bunch of pals to dispatch and send on the expedition so we could get some loot. Now, I wasn't 100% sure on how it works, so I just hit auto assign and honestly sent them away. I didn't really have a need for most of these guys, so I was like, stuff it, let's send them. Now, while the expedition was taking place, I then decided I was going to continue exploring. Also, look at how happy Tombat is to be in the pool. That's so cute. Oh shit, we got a Direhound nest. This is actually my first time seeing these. Like, this was brought in the last update, but I've never actually seen one of these before, so that's pretty cool. I really should have crafted more arrows for myself. I'm in trouble. Okay, that should be all of them. Oh, that was a bit scary, I'm not going to lie. So I'm guessing all of these eggs are going to be Direhound eggs. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but I mean, that's pretty cool still. I then ventured over to where King Packer was, the Supreme Fluff Commander. This guy was a little bit closer to our level, so I figured this was going to be a pretty fair fight. All I had to do was beat him. However, King Packer has a crap ton of HP. So it was going to be a very big battle of attrition here, and I was going to need to use pretty much all of my powers to defeat him. It was a very slow fight to beat him. However, the help of Incinerem and actually burning him was reducing his health significantly, which was really handy to have. Also, me being able to manually activate Flame Claw Hunter also really helped. He's pretty terrible, but I'll take him. Hey, look at this. They're already helping me kill the NPC. Let's kill him. Me and Xthecheesedj are more than up to the task of killing this guy. He's not going to be too much for trouble. Bro, you can dodge roll all you want. You have to actually dodge to survive. Absolutely nuked all of them. That was dope. Good job, Incinerem. So I continued making my way further inland into the center of the map. Now this was higher level territory. There was also a meteorite drop in progress, and I wanted to make my way over there. First I had to get through this army of bloody Cinnamoths, however, and they absolutely wrecked me. I did return and managed to catch some Gale Claws as well as some more Cinnamoths as well before making my way down to the Meteor. This area was an absolute pain in the butt because these Gale Claws just would not leave me alone. And because they're flying, it just made life so much harder. Alright, here we go. We've got a Meteorite. I don't think there are any enemies because I'm having a sneaking suspicion that these guys over there killed them all. I continued exploring further into this part of the map, catching myself a Bristler as well as a Robin Quill. Now, the Robin Quill was going to be a really good addition to the PAL team back at the base because these guys have really good handiwork, transporting and all that sort of stuff, and woodcutting. However, this one was proving mighty difficult. It just did not want to stay in the goddamn sphere. Don't know what its deal was. It was just making life difficult. However, I was relentless and still managed to catch it. We've just found a Mimog. Kind of want to try and capture it. We've got a 3% chance. I don't know. Can I block it in? I've never actually tried to block it in. Let's see. Okay. Woo! We've caught him. So now we can just go ahead, build some stairs. Hey, little buddy. Oh my god, trying to hit him. I wonder if it's worth me just throwing like land ball in there with him. Let's try doing this. Well, that was unexpected. I was not expecting Mimog to be able to break. Well, I wasn't expecting to break it myself, but I mean, that kind of sucks. But I mean, there's not much we can do about it. That's annoying, but yeah, it's fine. I'll get over it. And we've got another NPC boss, Lasso. He's a cattle rustler with no cattle. Oh shit, never mind, he does have cattle. He's got a goddamn mozzarella. Apparently I can capture the mozzarella? I didn't realize that. It looks like a bigger mozzarella than normal too. I don't know if it's just my imagination though. Let's go, got the mozzarella. Let's go, got him. Okay, I can hear a lucky pal. There it is there, Bristler. It's got a water move. Jesus Christ. Get your attacks in. Quick Incineram before you die. Okay, Incineram got taken out. Oh, good stun, Dinosaur. Let's see how we go. I think we got it. Let's go, we got it. And, oh, it's got Musclehead 2 on it. And Lucky, that's actually really big. All right, our expedition is back as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. Some spheres, some ore. After catching the Bristler and sorting out the expedition, I then went ahead and made myself some small upgrades. So I made myself some new armor, which was going to increase our defense and health. I also made myself the lockpicking tool, a small feed bag so we could feed ourselves and our pals with some grilled Gale Claw that we were cooking up with Incineram. And then I wanted to continue exploring the map, unlocking more of the fast travel points and trying to find our permanent base location. Looks like we got another meteor coming down too. We're going to head out to there because I'm going to hope that there is something we can capture. It literally landed on a Free Pal Alliance base. Oh, that's funny. Oh my god, this dude's huge. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Okay. Whoa, it's scary. Oh, he is... I've never seen this guy before. Nope, stay away. I don't want to be your friend. Guys, can you... Bristlers, come help me, please. Someone. Save me from the big scary ass dude. There's a Doomud. I want Doomud. Okay, that's not what you want to see. Please do something about him, Dinosaur. Oh, she killed him. Oh, thank God for that. With the big scary dude dead, I was then able to free Doomud and grab the supply drop, getting some stamina remedy and a nice amount of oil. I then went ahead and found another cave in the area as well and figured, you know what, let's do this, why not? Level 29 cave, we were only level 27, but I figured we could do it. Thankfully, we made it all the way to the end and there was a Gorurat. So we needed to try and capture him. However, there was also a lucky Goria, which I also wanted. So I needed to try and capture both of them. However, there were minions here, so it was going to make our life a lot harder. I think I'd just try and deal with the boss one first, and then we go for the lucky one. I don't think we're not gonna beat this. I'm gonna die. God damn it! I really wanted both of them. And Lambo just killed itself. Well done, Lambo. Let's try this again. Let's go. I don't know why we wanted to capture Mimog so badly for. We got dog coins in the training manuals, but I don't remember why we wanted to get him so badly for. But we've got him now. That's what matters. So after successfully capturing my first Mimog, I then continued into our cave systems where we stumbled upon a Catris. Now, I had a sneaking suspicion that Catrices are really good with handiwork just because we had experienced them before. So I figured why not, we'd try and catch this one, we could bring it back to the base and use it around the base to actually do some of our handiwork stuff. Alright, nice. Alrighty, and at the end of the cave, we have some Gobfins, which is actually pretty good for our Bristler, because I think, and Dinosaur, because they were both grass. So we're going to try and capture all of them. Because, oh my god, they do a lot of damage. Jesus Christ. Dinosaur, get in there. See if we can capture this Gobfin. Let's go. After finishing up in the cave, I was greeted by a meteor on exiting. So thankfully there was still some Xenovaders here, and I really wanted to capture these guys as they had a good passive skill that would allow us to increase the amount of meteorite fragments that we got while we were mining meteors. So I went ahead and tried my best to capture them with the help of Gale Claws, because they just did not want to leave me alone in this part of the map. Everywhere I went, I was haunted by some goddamn Gale Claws. Thankfully, I did manage to catch at least one of the Xenovaders. Bristler almost did kill my second one, but thankfully we threw the ball just in time to save it and capture it as well. I then returned back to my base to hatch some of the eggs that we had waiting for us here, and we managed to get a Doomud with Work Slave, which is actually going to be really big because we could put him in the ranch and have him produce high quality Pal Oil. I also went ahead and hatched the second large damp egg, getting myself a Celerate. I then went ahead, checked the expedition, not really anything amazing, but I took it nonetheless. I then went ahead and found another cave that we decided to do. While out exploring, I was trying to find a new base spot and I was stumbling across these caves, and I figured let's do them, extra XP, extra money, and we get the tablets for the raids as well at the end of it. I finally made it to the end of the cave where I was greeted with a Lootmon and all of his minions. Safe to say this didn't go rather well either. Now I was hoping to try and capture at least one of the Lootmons, as I hadn't really caught any of them before, but I was just getting absolutely bombarded by these guys, so things weren't looking very well for me. Bro, get fucked. I dodged that shit. I'm sick of running these caves and dying in them at the end. So after my foray into the dungeons, I then decided to go out and capture some Gobfins, as I did plan on using these guys in my party because they do increase your player attack damage. So I figured using these guys in the party alongside some of the powers that we were going to use to beat the tower bosses would just increase our attack damage, causing us to obviously deal more damage to the bosses and defeat them quicker, and hopefully actually be able to defeat them. So I spent a bit of time capturing up some Godfins so that we could go ahead and condense some good ones that we caught, as well for their traits as well that we could get, any passive traits that were decent as well. Now, thankfully, Warsect's domain was also near the Gobfins, and I really like Warsect, so we decided to add him to the party. We just first had to defeat him and capture him. So me and Incineram headed out. Now, he was obviously level 30, so he's very on par with our level, and our bow and arrow did literally no damage to him. We really needed to upgrade our weaponry. I just hadn't really spent the time to do so. So we were solely relying on Incineram, but thankfully we were able to get him down to capturable health. And just like that, we were able to capture our own Warsect. I also really like Massander, so I spent some time capturing up Massanders as well to try and get a decent one. I also managed to capture an Eliza Bee with Musclehead as well, getting swarmed by some Free Pal Alliance. I then wanted to make my way to the Free Pal Alliance tower, and things took a turn for the worse. Well, this isn't good. I did make it to the snow biome, and then it turned to nighttime. I was fine during the day, not during night. I have no idea how the fuck I'm going to get back up here to get my stuff. Upon my death, I returned back to base to hatch the eggs that we had waiting for us, because I figured we could get some more in while we were trying to retrieve our body. I got a Catras from one, but I then got a Mao from the second one that had a new passive trait that we hadn't seen before. Diamond Body. So I wanted to find out what that was about, so we headed over to the PAL box to take a look at Mao. And Diamond Body actually increases its defense by 30%, which is a huge buff. Now obviously it was like this prismatic trait, so we needed to pass this on to other pals. Alright. Thankfully, I managed to make it back to my body. All I needed to do was pretty much make another set of the metal armor that had the cold resistance, and I not come in the middle of the night, and I managed to get it, so that's good. We're going to activate this fast travel point. I also caught a Raindrix and a Foxicle while we were up here as well, and I managed to grab the fast travel point as well and return back to base. Let's hatch these eggs. I'm thinking they're going to be the dire house. Now, I was kind of debating where I wanted to set up my base, and I kind of decided on setting up in the flower fields. Now, we had built here previously. This was a nice open flat area, and the purple flowers did really kind of sell the aesthetic and vibe. So I did spend some time building up some foundations here, but ultimately decided that I just wasn't really vibing with it. We had already built here before, and I just kind of wasn't feeling it, so I decided to move base spots again. The problem was I didn't know where I was going to build. So I decided to do some exploration on this side of the map that we hadn't been on before, and I also caught some more pals along the way, capturing myself a Woollypop, some Mozzarinas as well, pretty much all the ranching pals. I also managed to grab a supply drop as well, catch some Bron Cherries, catch some Relaxosauruses as well, some Arsics as well that were in the area. And then I went ahead and also fought another NPC, Jade, one of the bounties, and killed Jade as well. Thankfully, I did find a base spot that I was pretty happy with. It was up here in the bamboo forest, a relatively flat place. So I decided to put down a bunch of foundations. I also built the power box, and I had a base design in mind that I was going to build. It was going to be sort of 4 segmented rooms. it kind of works in my head. It's a bit hard to explain. I wanted to place these gates down and have everything sort of separated off, but for some reason you can't actually place walls next to the gates. The gates are slightly too large on the foundations to allow you to do that, which was really annoying me. I tried so many different variations to get this to work, but for the life of me, I just could not get this to work. It was really annoying because I feel like that's something that should work. We should be able to put the gates on the foundations and have them snap perfectly and be able to set up walls. So this side was going to be our cooking side, and as well as that, our crop growing side. So I was going to build crops and then obviously a kitchen area over here. Now I did want to have the foundations lowered from our original foundations. I just could not get them to work and to still snap. This was a very long process trying to get this base looking the way that I wanted it to look. It was frustrating because, I mean, like, I really enjoy the base building in this game, but trying to get certain things to work was just killing me. It was killing me. I tried a whole variety of different things trying to make this work, and I just could not get it. Eventually, I settled on not placing any gates and just having it open like this. It still looked relatively nice. I wanted to do the bare floor, but the floor wasn't level, so I had to place foundations. I also found another meteor with a bunch more Xenovaders. Unfortunately, they did kill Cjthecheesedj, but I managed to capture them, so it was fine. It was a solid trade-off between the two. I then went ahead back out to the Gobfin farming simulator and decided to catch a bunch more of them, as I only had enough to really kind of condense down a few stages. So we needed more Gobfins, especially if we were going to try and use them to take down some of the tower bosses. I did want to condense down some more Gobfins for that. Alrighty, we've got a Robin Quill just over there. I'm going to try and catch it. It's a lucky one. Just out here farming some power fluids from the Gobfins just because we need them for our... Alright, let's see how we go. All I'm thinking is I'm glad that Incineram has burned, because I don't think we'd be doing nearly as much damage. I also wanted to try and pull it away from here so that the Gobfins wouldn't get involved. That doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They're going to kill me 100% before I can do anything. Oh man, what have I done? Okay, Incineram's dead. That worked out well. I am just gathering more and more of these Gobfins. They are everywhere. I've got really not much of a choice here. I'm going to die. Come on. Oh. Got my hopes up there for a second. Alright. That's all the thingies dead. I've got one. I think I caught it. I caught it. That's fine. I'll take that win. I'll take that win. Let's go. We got it. I'll take that. I'm happy with that. I spent some time organizing our first base as well, assigning powers to specific locations so that we could complete our labor research as well, because we're really trying to focus on that as well this time around. We did also unlock the ability glasses. I just need to make some refined ingots and get some more ancient civ cores. And that'll help us show the IVs of our powers so that we can actually get better powers and stuff like that from them, which I think will be really good. We're making ourselves the compound bow. So we want that that's going to be our new weapon over our 3-shot bow, which is like all the way back at like level 2. We're going to use that one instead. I just need to figure out where we make it in. So to make our new bow, I needed to build the new weapon workstation, which was our first sort of industrial building that we had to make. Thankfully, I had Penking to help me. So after building the new bow and the new weapon workstation, I then returned back to the new base to try and get that finished and up and running. So thankfully, I did have some pals here that were building the crop plots. However, this was going to be, like I mentioned earlier, our kitchen area. I wanted to go over to the other side and get that side going as well. And that was going to be sort of our crafting sort of gathering area. We were going to set up the stone pits, the wood and all that sort of stuff, and eventually the ore when we got around to it. But obviously there's nothing here, so I needed to get that set up first. Perfect. Got myself my compound bow. I think this is going to do a lot more damage. Yeah, look, 40 compared to 1100. Let's just scrap that. We ain't even going to use it. I do have some other arrows. I only got 21. I thought I had more. The next few days were spent setting up the base. Pretty much me making sure that I got everything the way that I wanted it laid out, which is ironic because we were going to change this later on anyway. But I placed down the stone pits, the wood pit, ended up moving those around. I also went ahead and decided to make a second floor on top of these because I figured it'd be a waste of space to just go one layer. In Palworld, you kind of have to build vertical to utilize the most amount of space that you can anyway when you've only got one sort of box. So I made it 3 high, built some ceilings over the top of it, and this was eventually going to become our storage area later on. I then went ahead and did the exact same thing on the other side. One thing that I am a sucker for is symmetry. It drives me crazy when things aren't symmetrical, including bases. So I did my best here to make this as symmetrical as possible so that I could stand looking at it. Now on top of this roof, I was going to place some ranches. I did accidentally go to place a breeding farm, thinking this is much bigger than what I was expecting. Not realizing it was a breeding farm when I wanted to put the ranches up there. Just for the time being, this was only going to be a temporary place so we could start producing some of the goods that our ranch pals could produce. I also went ahead and placed some pillars down as well onto structures just to help decorate the base a little bit. I then returned back to the first base, placing down a production assembly line so that I could get some extra production going, as well as the sphere production line so we could produce the higher tier spheres as well. Obviously I hadn't set up the new base for all of this stuff yet. It was a work in progress, but we were getting there. Now in front of our production area was going to be our power relaxation area, so I went ahead and placed down 2 high quality hot springs, and then the beds were going to be placed in the structure next to it. Alrighty, we've just come back out to the starter area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to capture a bunch of Chickpeas because I want to condense them down into a singular Chickpea so that we can go ahead and chuck them all in the ranch and then have a bunch of eggs getting produced. Someone escaped. We can't have that. There's no escaping my torture farm. I also needed a bunch of Paldium fragments, and I knew that there were some nodes here at the starting area, so I went ahead and also mined up those. Now, I wanted to also go ahead and capture pretty much all the pals that I hadn't already caught, the 12 out of 12, just for the bonus XP, so I spent a bit of time doing that as well down here in this starting area, mainly consisting of like the Cativas, Lamballs we already had, but like the Fox Sparks, Gummoss, Pengullets, all that sort of stuff. I spent some time catching and getting them to the 12 out of 12. Now at night, I also found a Lucky Depresso, the king of all pals, so I went ahead and caught him as well. Cool. Let's go, Lucky Depresso. So with the Paldium fragments that I collected, I could now go ahead and build the Pal Condenser, which meant all of the pals that I had been capturing, we could now condense down and boost their passive skills up as well as themselves up as well. Now I went ahead and condensed down a Lamball as well as a Melpaca. I then went back to my new base and I wanted to get those guys set up in the ranches so that we could have our wool production online and up and running. And I also went ahead and showcased just sort of everything built up, but you guys had already seen it while we were building it, so we didn't spend too long on that. Thankfully, our Melpaca did have Artesian on it as well, which was really good, so that was going to increase the amount of wool it was going to produce as well. So after setting up the new base with a bunch of ranching pals, I left them to do their thing and headed out to do some various boss dungeons, starting with this Bushi here. Now, yes, we were over leveled for it, but I really just kind of wanted to get the token that we get from killing these guys, as that does increase our pal's power level. So we killed Bushi. I then went out to the next one, which was the Broncherry Aqua. However, along the way, I also popped up a Rampaging Lavander, which is something new in Feybreak, and I really wanted to get the Lavender killed because it would drop the Predator cores that we could use to actually expand our inventory space, but for the life of me, I could not find it. And by the time I had gone in to defeat the Broncherry, the Lavender was unfortunately gone, and I could not defeat it and get the Predator cores. Now, I continued exploring around the area, catching any pals that I hadn't come across. I did spot a Van Worm, but I could also hear a Lucky Pal in the distance. That Lucky Pal was a Fuak, so obviously I had to go ahead and capture these guys. Now, I was quite higher level than them, so they were kind of easy to capture, and I didn't really need to stress too much. My bow made quick work of the Van Worm. Unfortunately, I didn't catch that, but I was definitely going to make sure that I caught the Lucky Fuak. Alright, that should be an instant capture. Perfect. I then made my way to the Fanglope cave, catching myself a Fanglope as I wanted this guy to be our main way of getting around. So I caught the Fanglope. It was then time to take on Lily and Lyleen. These guys were in the snow biome. We had Incineram alongside of us, as well as a bunch of our other pals, and all I needed to do was just make sure that I defeated her. Alright, I'm pretty much out of arrows here, so it's going to fall to my pals. I don't even know how that missed. To finish the job off. Massander, honestly, he's probably strong enough to do it alongside Incineram, so I'm not too stressed. We still haven't poured out Bristler or Fanglope for that matter. Alright, cool. He's going to finish her here, and we will win. Let's go, and just like that, our second pal boss is defeated. Let's go. We will take those happily. So after defeating Lily and Lyleen, I could finally place the ore mining site in our base. So I got that down, and Catris and Gobfin were going ahead to assemble that for us so that we could now mine metal in our base. Oh, so nice. I then went ahead and made my way to a dungeon, as we were now at that stage where we could get refined ingots. I just needed to get a lot of coal. So I went to this dungeon to mine up the coal nodes that are located within, because they're generally pretty good, and we figured we could get some loot at the end of it, as well as an extra strong pal maybe. So I went ahead and spent some time in these dungeons mining up coal. It was honestly quicker for me to do this than try and find the individual coal nodes, because I knew it spawned in the dungeons. At the end of the dungeon, I found a Fellbat, so I went ahead and weakened that, and then eventually caught it. I accidentally threw Misandra out, so I thought he was going to kill it, but thankfully I had the Hyperspheres, so I threw that, and I was able to capture the Fellbat. I also got a compound bow schematic as well from the chest at the end of the dungeon. So I returned back to my new base, placing some beds down for our pals finally. It's not like they had been waiting for ages and they were getting sick or anything like that, no. Now, while at the same time I was running expeditions in between all of this, I just obviously didn't feel like showing it. It wasn't really anything super crazy. I then returned back again to the first area, capturing pretty much anything that I hadn't already caught enough of, which was surprisingly a lot of Cativas. I also caught some Pengullets, like I mentioned as well, so I just wanted to go ahead and get some good traits as well, which is another reason. And then I returned back to the other base, and Misander's on bloody fire for some reason.
Alrighty, so we're currently just trying to bank up our flour here so that we can start making cakes. So we can start breeding. We've got milk getting produced, we've got eggs getting produced, we've got honey getting produced. Our Tombats are mining down below us. We've got Arsecs producing refined metal ingots down there as well. We've got a bunch of wool getting produced, as well as high quality pal oil thanks to Doomud over there. Okay, we're just missing some berries, but I mean, we can only make like one cake. But I do have more eggs, milk, and honey, I believe, at the old base. I didn't realize I needed red berries as well.
I then went ahead and spent some time out just killing some more bosses that I had missed, such as this Univolt out here. Now, I did try to capture the ones that I could, but if I couldn't capture them, I wasn't going to lose any sleep over it and decided to kill them. Thankfully, I did catch the Univolt, and then I continued catching a bunch of other pals where we found a Chica-Pie that had Heart of the Immovable King, which was a new one that we hadn't seen before yet either. I then stumbled across my first Wandering Merchant. And you know what I had to do. We definitely had to go ahead and capture this guy. Thankfully, his guards were really nonchalant about it and didn't seem to really care that I was capturing their protection. Capturing their charge. They did start shooting at me once I accidentally hit them, but I mean, that's fine. We still managed to capture the Wandering Merchant in the process as well, which I was super ecstatic about. Plus, we had no record of a crime because we killed all of the witnesses. I then went ahead and caught myself the Broncherry boss wandering around, as well as a Sweeper and the Relaxosaurus Lux as well. Nailing more of those boss fights.
So, we can now make 6 cakes. Let's get those going. I don't know who we're going to assign to the cooking pot yet, but I mean, we should have someone. Arsecs is over there waiting to refine. I think I should have... Oh, that's what we forgot to do. Didn't I bring these?
I then went ahead and went to place the ore mining site too, as I had reached the level required to make it. Whoa, this thing was really big. It wasn't going to fit on our bottom level where I honestly wanted everything to go, so I had to figure out a different way to get it to place. So instead what I did was I placed it on the opposite ceiling. Because above this we had the ranches, and I just wanted to get this down so that we could go ahead and get the ore coming out. So I placed it up here on these ceilings to get it built ASAP. My next goal for the base was to try and get the coal mine. So that would pretty much negate the need for us having to go out and manually mine coal as well. But for that, we were going to need to defeat the next tower boss, and we weren't exactly ready for that stage yet. But the new ore mining site was up and running, and Tombat was having a field day with it so far. I also went ahead and defeated the Mammorest in the first area, the level 38 one. We did have Incineram at level 39, so we went to capture him. I had a couple of balls, so we only had a small chance to get him, but we did thankfully capture him in the end. I also went ahead and caught the Azurobe out in the lake, and I spent some time capturing some Kelpsies as well so that I could condense them down and get them into our Kelpsies that were in the ranch so we could get all of the power fluids. I then made my way out into the desert, capturing a Dinosaur Lux on the way. I really wanted to get a Suzaku though, because they were going to be the next best thing for forging and cooking. when I found a rampaging Daismu. Now this was level 47, so it was 8 levels above us. I was very hesitant to fight it, but it was the first rampaging power we had seen ever. This was the first rampaging power we had ever seen. So I did try attacking it, however, it took no damage from my Fang Lobe whatsoever. So I literally just beelined it out of there before it nuked me. I also found a huge rocky egg right next to the black market trader. And then I spent some time mining up some coal near here, as this was going to be our closest source of coal. Returned it back to base, made some refined ingots up, and then I built the product assembly line as well at the new base with the help of Catris.
Alrighty, we've just come into the volcano area and we've just had a Xeno-Guard spawn. Now, I have 15 Gigaspheres. He's level 33. I'm really hoping we can catch him because I'd really like a Xeno-Guard. No! Oh, I really hope that doesn't cause him to despawn. Come on, come on. I don't want Warsect to kill him either. No. Oh, that's so fucking shit. Damn it. Alrighty, we got some new armor. Let's chuck that on. I'm going to just throw that out. I don't think I really care for it.
With my new armor, I could now go out into the volcano without getting burnt to a crisp and dying, so I spent some time out here trying to capture the denizens that were living out here, mainly the Reptiros. I really kind of just wanted some Reptiros. They had really good mining, they had really good kindling, so I figured we could definitely use quite a few of these guys at the base. I also managed to find some scorching eggs here and there as well. Before slowly getting set on fire from the lava, I did thankfully manage to make it back to the fast travel point, so I didn't die out here with no fast travel point. God, that was so lucky. I also spent some time gathering some Paldium fragments. For this, I just went to the closest, easiest dungeon that I knew of, which was in the town, and just mined up the 2 nodes that were here. An easy 200 Paldium fragments. This with Xeno-Guard in my inventory, my PAL party, made mining the ore so much easier. I don't know if it was just extends to meteorites or if it was just something else, but I managed to mine it pretty easily.
Alright, I've gone ahead and made a sniper module, so that should increase our capture rate. We've got a couple of spheres here, but I need to make more, which we've got more crafting up at the old base. I also want to just try and breed for some Anubises, so we can get those guys in this base mining up stuff. Because at the moment, our powers aren't really doing very well. We've only got 3 cakes though, so I need to try and do something about that.
So I did want to breed myself up some Anubises. Before that, I wanted to go out and get some Celeres that had decent passives on them, mainly the work ones. So I spent a really long time, quite a few days actually, just capturing pretty much every single Celere in the area that I could, hoping to try and get some work skills that we could pass on to Anubis by breeding it with Relaxosaurus.
Got a work slave one here, which is great. We want that, but we want slightly more work speed. So I was thinking work slave. Oh, we got a workaholic one. That's really good. Okay, finally we're getting some decent stuff now. Alright, so I might actually see if that's a female, and then I'm going to probably try and breed the work slave with the workaholic. And that should net us a decent thing, and then hopefully we can go from there. And I might breed Sirius actually. Is Sirius a female? Sirius is a female as well. I'll go Sirius and work slave, to be honest. Workaholic.
So with my Celere and Relaxosaurus ready to go, I then went ahead and established a new base and built some breeding farms. I needed some more wood, so thankfully there was some bamboo nearby and I just cut that down, and I was able to get my breeding farm up and running in the hopes that I could try and get an Anubis that had the necessary traits that we wanted to make it a good workhorse. But before I could breed for the Anubis, I first needed to consolidate the 2 traits on our Celeres into one. So I needed to breed them first together with the cakes that I had. So the first Celere that I hatched did have Sirius, Nocturnal, and Work Slave, which in hindsight, looking back now, was actually pretty decent traits to have on a Celere. Unfortunately, I didn't go for this one because it had the bottomless stomach and I did want my Anubises to rest, otherwise they'd go insane. So we kept breeding our Celeres for the time being.
Alrighty, so we've got a Celere and a Relaxosaurus now breeding together in hopes that we can get an Anubis. So I'm hoping that we can get him. We'll find out if he gets the stats that we want, but... Oh! Xeno-Guard's back. What are the chances? I'm going to see if I can capture him this time. I'm very low on health though. This is probably not the best idea I've had. I'm also running out of food, and I don't think I have any other food to supplement that with. So we are in big trouble. I got some flour. Let's eat some flour. Not the tastiest meal I've had, but it'll do. Alright, that should hopefully capture him. Come on. Let's go. We take those. Xeno-Lord is now ours. Wonderful. I'll take that. Alrighty, and here we go. We've got a couple of huge rocky eggs, which I'm going to assume house an Anubis in them. I'm going to wait for this last one, and then we'll head out. I think that's all of the cakes. Oh, there'll be one more cake. I might as well just hatch more because A, there'll be pickaxe, there'll be mining dudes, and they'll also be handy craft guys, so I can use them for literally anything at this other base, so we should be fine. Alrighty, our eggs are ready to hatch. I'm hoping that they come out decently. What do we got? Serious and fragrant foliage, not the greatest. All Anubises though, which makes me very happy. Just serious and fragrant foliage, is that? Oh! Artesian, noble, botanical. We didn't have artesian on any of them before. Okay, so we kind of got a mix of everything. So we've got botanical barrier, we got glutton, we got noble, and we got artesian. Obviously, we'll use this guy because he's got the extra work speed. Cool. All right, so we got one Anubis. I'll probably use the other one at the other base anyway. So let's see how much quicker he is. He's probably going to be super quick, right? That's pretty damn fucking quick. I then made my way out to the Twilight Dunes because I did want to try and get a dig toys as well as some of the Doomuds out here so we could increase A, our mining speed, and B, the amount of high quality pal oil we were producing because we didn't need that high quality pal oil for the polymer. So I needed to make sure that we had a Doomud that was capable of producing all of it. Thankfully, I did catch a Doomud that actually had artesian. So you can bet your sweet cheeks that we were going to condense down Doomuds into that artesian one for sure. I then made my way across the island to the ice biome, the ice mountain, so that I could finally get some pure quartz coming into the base. And this was another key ingredient we needed alongside of the high quality pal oil to make circuit boards, to make the polymer. So I definitely needed it. Look at this hog. This bastard sleeping on the nice big comfy pillow. And look at poor Reptiro. He barely fits on the damn bed and this bloody bastard hogging it all. What an asshole. And this guy's just drowning himself. He's just that bad. So the base was kind of in disarray at the moment. The new one was slowly coming together, but storage stuff was everywhere. I wasn't really liking it and I needed to finish off the foundations here. I also wanted to turn the old base into like a pure farm base so we could have food production going on there and then bringing all that food over to this base and cooking it. Because our crop plots here just weren't really producing enough food, so we were going to need more food as well. So that's what I was going to spend the next few days on, between that and waiting for our Anubises to breed up so we could get more workhorse Anubises. It was going to take a bit of time. Before we do that though, we've got 3 more eggs down here ready to hatch. Let's get these bad boys. Oh, glutton and serious. That is not what you want to see. Serious? That's not bad. Work slave. Okay. I mean, that's also not bad, but I'm wondering whether or not we breed this. Oh, we can't, the males. Fire is broken out. Are the water powers going to put it out, or are we just going to burn forever? Our foundations are getting burnt down. Gobfin, come save us. Maybe I need to. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. The Gobfin squad is coming. Let's just throw Azerobe out as well to put it out. You're just going to watch the place burn down, Azerobe? You're not going to put out the fire or anything? I then went ahead and started moving all of our storage from the old base into the new base. This was a hell of a task because we had so much stuff at the old base. I also went ahead and started planning out the plantations as well at the old base, placing pretty much 2 of every vegetable that we were going to need. So carrots, potatoes, onions, the berries as well. My plan going forward was going to be to try and use minestrone as our main food source as we got further up. So that's what we were building all these for. I also built a small sleeping area for our pals so that they weren't out in the cold and they did have beds. I rebuilt a stone pit over at the new base. I did restructure it a little bit so that we could fit more stuff in and as well just make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Upon completing most of that, I came back to the breeding ranch and we had a bunch of huge rocky eggs ready and waiting for us. So I had to hatch these up at our new base. We've done some stuff to the base, so we've changed some things around. We've made these rooms slightly smaller. I haven't completely finished decorating and all that sort of stuff, but the main gist of it is there. We've got our stone, wood, we've got our crusher, we've got our forges, which I need the ingots for as well. We've got our kitchen area over here. Although I'm thinking I might readjust these lamp placements. I think I might put them in front of that one. That's the thingy. We've got medicine, we've got a little table, we've got the mill, refrigerator, a little bar set up over here. Just some decorations to try and make it look a little nicer. Over here, we've got the factory. So you can see here, I've managed to fit most of the benches in this space nicely. There is still a little bit of space over here, but the idea is going to be that we're going to have a staircase that can go up and potentially more of these machines up there if we need them. So what we've done for this one, we've got our pals sleeping area just over here. I mean, it's nothing super fancy. I just figured they should deserve somewhere to sleep undercover. We've got all our crops. So we've got onions, berries, carrots, wheat, potatoes and tomatoes, because we're going to go for minestrone, because I think that's the next best thing over salad. We've got our 2 ranches here with our pals producing a butt ton of goods, which is great. We've got some hot springs there just as well, and then that can come out and we'll chuck all this stuff in there, and all our food is going in this cooler box, which is getting cooled down by our Raindrix. And then when we come over here, we're just grabbing it all. Oh, the last egg, work slave, serious, and artesian. That is what we wanted. I wanted one with all 3 of those traits. Unfortunately, we did get the glutton, which is kind of annoying, but work slave, serious, and artesian, that's 140 work speed. All right, we're running out of time to kill Suzaku. It's just gone cold in the desert, so it's freezing now, so we're gonna need to try and kill him quickly, or capture him. We're gonna just try and capture him before we die, hopefully. I'll take it. Let's go. I'll take it. Perfect. All right, so we got the Alpha Suzaku. We can breed him with Anubis to actually get Yormantide, I'm pretty sure. Everyone is dying because they haven't been fed. I apologize, pals. I'm sorry. Now there's injuries involved, and there we go. Everyone, come and eat something, please. So after prepping the Anubises at the base, I could then head off and leave them to do what I queued up, and I made my way to the Brothers of the Eternal Pyre Tower. Up here was where we were going to fight Orserk. I don't remember the dude's name, but we were going to fight Orserk. We did have some earth moves on our team, but it was mainly just sort of a tester just to see how we go. I didn't really know how well we were going to pull this off. So it was time to fight Axel and Orserk. Let's see how we go. 33,000 HP left to go. I think we'll be able to kill him. As long as my team doesn't starve to death, which isn't looking very well, to be honest. Or me, for that matter. Can't believe I forgot to bring fucking food. Even just like basic berries would have been plenty. Oh, big punch from Masanda. And a couple more shots and he should be dead. Let's go. Axel and Orserk are defeated. We'll take that. Woo! Alright, we need to get out of here before we die. That was good. That was a solid flight. Warsect and Masanda carrying us. Now that I had defeated Axel and Orserk, I could now make the coal mine for the base, which completely negated the need for us to go out and mine coal. I also hit level 44, getting access to the electric furnace, the sword, the palmetto pickaxe, and the pal hatchet as well. So we were going to craft those bad boys up as well. We just needed a butt ton of palladium fragments for it. And there was the coal mine all in its glory. Our mining pals were doing God's work, mining all of this ore for us. Between here, the metal nodes, and the stone down below, majority of our base was literally just miners. Now, I had also put Anubis and Suzaku together, and with that, we had managed to get a Yormantide out of an egg. It did only have glutton, which was crap, but we did have another egg to hatch, which thankfully did have slightly better passives than just glutton. Serious? Okay, serious isn't too bad. I can't remember what serious. Serious extra work speed? Alrighty, so we've done quite a bit of research in the meantime, so we now have the ability to build, I think it's down in other, I'm just trying to find it. We've now got the ability to build the large toolbox, which I think, do I just chuck it in here? No, maybe we'll chuck it over here with the power generator. I feel like next to that would be good. So we can make the large toolbox, and we can also make the pickaxe and the helmet as well. So let's just chuck that right there, that'll do. And then we've got the pickaxe and helmet as well. So that's going to increase our handiwork and our mining in the base, which is going to be great. These guys should be mining stuff a lot quicker. Everything else is going pretty good. We've got pal metal ingots getting refined now at our electric furnace. This is taking its sweet time, though. It's taken a very long time. So we're going to try and breed a Yormantide Ignis now. We do have a Yormantide, but we've only got one cake. So that could present itself as a bit of a problem. I then went ahead and made my way out to Sakurajima Island. Now that I was getting higher level, I figured we could head out here and deal with some of the pals that were out here. Ooh. Okay, we've got a rampaging Ilfidrian. I'm trying to remember what it's weak against. This is our first. Let's see if we can beat this. It's level 55. It's 10 levels higher than us, so I don't have a lot of faith that we're going to be able to beat this. Oh, great. Both my weapons are damaged. Perfect. Let's get out of here. Oh, God. We got absolutely annihilated. Wonderful. Let's get that and get the hell out of here before we die again. Oh, shit. Don't know what that move was, but it was terrifying. Oh, God. It's still after me. Run, run, run. Okay, this one has just decided not to despawn. That was terrifying. But I wasn't done there, and I returned to try and capture some shroomers. Now, I wanted the shroomers for the base purely because they reduce the amount of sanity that pals lose while in the base. So I figured we might as well catch one while we were here. They're also pretty good at gardening, and they can do a little bit of handiwork stuff as well. However, they did get their revenge against me for kidnapping one of their own. I'm dead. I walked straight into it. On returning to the base, I then hatched my Yormantide eggs that we had, and thankfully this one actually came out with Serious Artesian and Work Slave, which was a hell of a lot of work speed. So we needed to get that Yormantide Ignis into the base ASAP, and he was pretty much going to be stationed on our furnaces and our electric stove as well, because he had a huge amount of extra work speed. I did want to try and capture some of these guys, but we're getting absolutely destroyed here. I also really don't want Fanglope to die again. It's our only mount. Okay, we need to get out of here. I'm dead again, and so is Fanglope. Oh, okay, maybe I'm not ready for Sakurajima. Or maybe I just need to stop fighting huge hordes of shroomers. Alrighty, so these guys have finished breeding. Now, I've got a couple of plans in terms of breeding stuff that we're going to do. So I think I'll take these guys out. And then next up is going to be Lamball and Azurobe. Now, the reason being, Lamball has Lucky and Eternal Engine. And if we breed Lamball with Azurobe, who has our Fitter's Fiddle, we actually, the offspring is a Fanglope. So it'll be a Fanglope that hopefully has Fit as a Fiddle, Lucky, and the Eternal Engine, which would be super good. Alright, so yeah, these Yormantide Ignises, they're not messing around. Look at how quick that Minestrone's getting cooked. God damn, that's crazy. I kind of wish I had invested in this a little bit earlier, but I kind of got sidetracked with everything. That's absolutely nuts. Now, I also wanted a Noclim, so I went ahead and bred my Warsect with someone else to actually get a Noclim, because these guys are probably one of the strongest pals in the game with their partner skill. So I figured we'd try and get started on this guy. We're about 55 days through the 100 days, and I figured this would be a good start to some of the endgame stuff that we were going to need really strong dudes for. And I did want to try and get Mal's Diamond Body onto the Noclim, because Mal was probably one of our best passive skills that it had. So we wanted to try and get that Diamond Body. It was just going to take a very long process to get that onto the Noclim. Lots of breeding and lots of cakes, which is why I set the groundwork for laying out the Yormantides and the Anubises, because you can see here we were going to need a butt ton of cakes in order to get all this breeding done that we needed. Now, while I was breeding up my pals and doing stuff at the base, cooking everything, I also ran some dungeons on the Ice Island just because I was looking for time, extra XP as well. I figured it was a good way to go about it. So my team at the moment did consist of the Noclim, the Xeno-Guard, as well as Missandei. They were going to be our, and Fanglope obviously, they were going to be our main ones going forward as well. But the end of this dungeon was a Chillet. I did want to capture the Chillet as well, but I was just running these for extra cash and extra XP, plus any extra pals with passive skills that we found in these dungeons. I then also found a black market trader up in the mountains, so I decided to sell literally majority of our Celeres that we had collected. We did spend a long time collecting a lot of Celeres, so I figured I'd just sell them to him. I did take a look to see if he had anything worth buying, but unfortunately he didn't. I do kind of want to try and capture him. I think I might try and weaken him first. Fangloop, you can attack at any time. Oh, you idiot. Okay, he's still alive. That's good news. Now, after he bought all my pals and I took all his money, I decided to fight him and try and catch him. I figured we could utilize a black marketeer in the base whenever we wanted to sell some pals or anything like that. I decided to make him my slave. Thankfully, with a legendary sphere, I was able to capture him and we could have him part of our pals now. I then returned back to base to hatch some eggs that I had ready. So we had some Noclum eggs and we also had some Fanglope eggs. The Noclums came out with not really great passive skills, but thankfully our Fanglopes were doing much better. So we did manage to get Lucky, Eternal Engine and Ferocious on one. However, they weren't our speed ones and our stamina ones that we wanted. We did get a Lucky, Eternal Engine and Fit as a Fiddle one, which is very close to what we did kind of want. I did kind of want to see if we could get 4 passive skills on it. So I was pretty happy with the one that had Lucky, Eternal Engine and Fit as a Fiddle. I was pretty happy with that. I did then venture back up to the snow, dealing with one of the bounty NPCs up there, Whisk, killing him. My main goal here at the moment was to try and make my way to the tower, but I was also running caves for extra XP and just to find any extra powers that we hadn't already collected, such as this Sibylex here. She was going to produce high quality cloth in our ranches. I also found a Cryolynx nest. So I slowly battered my way through these guys, thankfully managing to capture the big version of it and then grabbing all the eggs in the area as well from the Cryolynxes. So I was pretty happy with that. I was just slowly making my way to the PAL Genetic Research Tower so I could have that fast travel point available. I still hadn't defeated Marcus and Faleris in the desert though, but I hadn't forgotten about them. I then went ahead and made myself up some new armor. Now, I thankfully did manage to find a blueprint for this PAL metal armor. It was only uncommon, but it was still better than the standard PAL metal armor. And then I went back to hatching more Fanglopes, more Noclums, just trying to get the pals that we wanted with the passive skills that we needed. It took... breeding is honestly the end game of this, like 100% just breeding like crazy and getting your cake production online. It's crazy how long it takes you to get some of the pals that you need with the stats and passive skills that you want. I eventually just settled on a Fanglope with the 3 passive skills, the Lucky, Eternal Engine, and Fit as a Fiddle, just for the time being because it was just taking us a really long time to get anything else. I then went out hunting for Xeno-Guards from the Meteors, because I did want to try and get a very strong Xeno-Guard as well, but for that we need a breeding pair of them. So unfortunately I didn't have opposite genders of Xeno-Guards, so I needed to actually go out and capture more so that we could have a breeding pair of them. Alright, we've just hit level 50 as well, which means we can now get into plasteel and crude oil extraction. Wonderful, we just need to set up a base over on Sakurajima and then we'll be good to go. So we're going to unlock all of that. Probably not going to unlock that, can't get that just yet. But that's fine. Now I made my way back out to the desert and actually stumbled across some Tarantruses. So I wanted to try and capture some of these guys as they are part of the new Feybreak Island update as well. Noclum was just too damn strong and he was killing all of them. Thankfully I was able to capture one of them by the end of it. Next up was heading to Marcus and Faleris to try and take them down. Now defeating them was going to allow us to craft the sulfur mine as well, which we did need for ammunition because we had been using shotgun shells as well. So for this fight, we were mainly going to be relying on Fanglope and Noclum. Even though Fanglope and Noclum aren't the corresponding elements to Marcus and Faleris, I figured they'd still have water. Well, I mean, Fanglope had water moves, whereas Noclum was just super powerful. So I figured we should be able to get it done, but we were pushing it very close. At 5.5 minutes, we had only just done half his HP. So it's going to be a very close fight. Alright, we're officially out of ammunition for everything, so we're going to have to rely on our pals now. Hopefully they can pull it off. I'm actually a little concerned that we're not going to make it, to be honest. I think it's going to be cutting it really fucking close. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous.
Come on, Nocklum, do your big attacks, man. He missed. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh man, we are cutting this so close. "40 seconds. I'm going to throw out Relaxosaurus. Hopefully he's got some aquatic moves or something to use. Come on, 30 seconds. Just a couple more attacks, Fanglobe. That's all you got to do. Oh, let's go. That was way too freaking close. Oh, shit. Whew. Alright, well, we beat him. I'll take it. That's what matters. We beat him. Oh, man. Next time I need to bring much more ammunition. Upon beating them, I then went ahead and placed down my brand new sulfur mine. I no longer had to go out and get sulfur, which was great. We were producing quite a lot of metal ingots as well, but now was the next hurdle of plasteel. And I know I was going to suffer for it. I needed to do a lot of work before we were ready to try and even get oil out of the ground from those nodes. Thankfully, we had been hitting up supply drops, so we did have a decent supply of oil already. However, it wasn't going to be enough to sustain us in the long run. I thankfully hatched some more Fanglobe eggs and got one with the Nimble passive skill. So that increased movement speed by 10%. So this was going to be our main one from going forward, and I went ahead and condensed all the other Fanglobes as well into this main one so that we had it powered up and that it was stronger. Alrighty, so we've got some more eggs here. Now these first three are from our new breeding. So we've actually currently got a Mao and Anubis breeding. Main reason being because Mao has the diamond body for the extra 30% defense and Anubis has the Earth Emperor. Now this is getting bred into a Gale Claw, and then from this Gale Claw we're going to breed it with a Blazarmit, and then breeding a Blazarmit and a breeding the Gale Claw and the Blazarmit will result in a Penking. That Penking and then Blazarmit will take us into a Nocklum. So that should mean that we will get a Nocklum with Earth Emperor and Diamond Body plus whatever else we get along the way. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see whether or not that works out, but I'm hoping it does. So it's just a waiting game, and hopefully we can get what we need soonish. Alright, here we go. Face to face with the Blazarmit. I'm going to throw Xenogard out, because why the hell not? Oh, actually he is fire. I thought he was dragon and fire. Let's throw Relaxosaurus out instead. I don't have any bloody fucking ammo for anything. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can catch him. Oh, get out of here. First sphere. No, okay. I got my hopes up too high there. Let's go. Caught him. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He came out with some very good passives. They are some very good passives that we could potentially breed. Oh, get out of here. A lucky Mimog. What the hell? How are we going to catch this thing? I got no weapons. I got no way to catch it. I'd love to catch it because look at the size of it. Oh, I've got the saddle made up. It's just at the base. Alright, let's try this. We're going to throw a Blizzard Spike out to freeze it. Hopefully that does enough damage. Nah, not even. I mean, I'm going to follow it down. It outruns me any day of the week, but I might be able to get it trapped somewhere and I can potentially do some more damage to it. Yeah, he's gone. I don't know where he's gone, but he's gone. Upon returning back to base, I took a look at the Blazarmit that we had caught, and Philanthropist and Serenity were going to be great if we could get them onto Nocklum. Philanthropist increased the breeding speed, and Serenity increased the active cooldown timer by 30%, as well as extra attack. So I got to work at breeding the Gale Claw and the Blazarmit together, so that we could try and get the Penking, which we could then breed into the Nocklum. Thankfully, I did manage to get a Gale Claw with the passive skills that we needed, so we could now continue breeding down the lies. This is literally what the next 20 days or so consists of. Just lots of breeding. We also managed to get Ferocious on a Gale Claw as well, which would be really good on a Noclum too. Now, I also headed over to Sakurajima Island because I did want to set up a base over here when a meteorite decided to drop down from the sky. Now, thankfully, over on Sakurajima Island, when meteors drop, it's most likely a saline that spawns in. So I headed straight over there to try and catch me a saline because I really wanted one of these guys. I didn't really want to use it in the party, but I did want one. Hopefully we can catch it. We've got 14 legendary spheres. Oh, Jesus. I wasn't expecting that amount of damage, to be completely honest. Okay, I want to be very careful because I obviously don't want to kill it or die to her. And there are Relaxosauruses that are after me as well, so that's wonderful. Let's pop the Acid Rain then. Okay, the Relaxosauruses are now helping us kill the freaking saline. Let's not do that, guys. Thank you. You go deal with them. I don't know what... Whoa, okay. That's a big attack. They're trying to fucking kill her. Let's go. We got her. Oh, yes. We take those. Let's go. These Relaxosauruses are fucking nuts. I also found a lucky Lulu as well in the area, so I wanted to try and catch her, but she was surrounded by her minions, and her attacks and their attacks were doing just so much damage in such a large range that it didn't end well for me. Relaxosaurus, distraction. Never mind. Oh, we had the samurais come in too. Alrighty, so we have to destroy our base over here, because we're going to set up a new base right here. So right where the oil is, we're going to probably just chuck it down. So we're going to get some stuff set up here, and then we'll see how we go. After setting some things up on Sakurajima, I sold pretty much all the stuff I had collected from dungeons for a hefty amount of money. I needed to buy a crap ton of electric organs so that I could make the large power generator for the new base spot, so that we could eventually work on filling that up with power and get the plasteel, well, get our crude oil extractors up and running. But I did build 2 of the battery storage things for the electricity, but we didn't really have any sort of decent electric powers to power it. I also had another wandering merchant come to the base who I tried to capture, but unfortunately he met a fated demise before we could capture him. Alright, so we got a Relaxosaurus and a Dinosaur powering up this large generator. That's going to hopefully fill up these accumulators, and then with that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and chuck the crude oil extractors down. These guys are breeding nicely. I've got Penkings breeding to try and consolidate them. I've also got just extra breeding happening here between the Blaze Almond and the Gale Claw, just in case we can get something extra, because why not, right? Alright, here we go. We're chucking our crude oil extractors down. 1, boom. Just like that, we've got our 2 oil extractors down. I'm hoping we got enough power here to power both, but we'll find out. Hopefully with the 2 generators we got going on. Look at all these beautiful eggs we got coming in too. We've just gotten our first lot of eggs from the Penking and Blaze Armor, so these should be the Noclums. Let's see what we get out of them. Hopefully we get what we need. Alright, not bad for the first egg. Didn't want Flame Emperor or Glutton. Didn't want, I mean, that's okay. We didn't get Earth Emperor, which is what we really want. Diamond Body and Philanthropist, that's actually not too bad, because if we can get another one that has Earth Emperor and whatever, hopefully like aggressive or something like that, because yeah, aggressive gives us, oh, we don't want aggressive, actually gives minus defense, we don't want that. Serenity, if we can get Philanthropy and Serenity, or Serenity and whatever, that'd be pretty good. Now these guys are going to be Missanders, because we're trying to breed for a Grisbolt so that we can get an Orserk, because I vastly underestimated how much electricity we would need for our oil production, and it's not going well. It's not going very well at all. The next few days were pretty much just spent breeding and waiting for eggs to be produced. So I went ahead and hatched some more Noclum eggs, just trying to get closer to our goal of having the 4 passive skills that we're after. Thankfully, this last egg actually came out pretty good with Earth Emperor, Philanthropist, and Diamond Body. It did have Glutton, but I mean, we could always try and breed that into something else that had stuff. We did want to get Serenity on him, so I was hoping we could get that at some point, but I mean, this was a pretty good one that we could continue breeding into. Eventually, I did get a Noclum that I wanted. Diamond Body, Serenity, Philanthropist, and Earth Emperor. This guy was going to be our main Nochlum for the time being. If we got something better, we could swap it out, but I was super happy with that at the moment. I walk away for 1 damn second and I got fucking Gatling dudes out the front of my base with rocket launchers. What is going on? I'm going for 2 seconds. I go to take a leak and I come back and my base is under attack. And it's a level 1 Nochlum. Let's not use him. Xenogard, please do something. My poor pals. Look at them all. This is the first raid we've had on the base. And it's the one time that I've gone to take a leak. Okay. Well, at least the enemy has been defeated. Relaxosaurus has been that traumatized he's spinning around in circles dead. We should be getting Grizzbolts from these eggs. Artesian, Sirius, Work Slave. Perfect, that's what we want. I'd like to get rid of the Glutton. It's annoying, but it's from the Relaxosaurus. There's not too much we can do. Now, while waiting for the breeding powers, I went back out to the volcano to try and wait for meteors to drop so that we could try and get a Xenogard to spawn again as well off a meteor. I did find a lucky Kelpsie Ignis. I also went ahead and caught another Blaze Armor so we could potentially breed them. And then I hatched Orserks from the Grizzbolts that we had. And these guys were going to be powering our generators. They did have Work Slave and Artesian on them, so they should be able to keep up with the power generation that we needed. And they should still be able to fill up the battery banks. So I was pretty happy about that. We got them by breeding Grizzbolt and Relaxosaurus. So it was a pretty easy one to get once we had it set up. Mastery of Fasting. That's a new one. Alrighty guys, it has been a hell of a time breeding. We have done it. This is what we're settling for. Diamond Body, Earth Emperor, Burly Body, Serenity. That's our ultimate Nochlum. Now, we did get one other Nochlum, which I was kind of tossing up between, and that is this one right here. So this one has Diamond Body, Earth Emperor, Serenity, and Power of Gaia. But I think Burly Body, the extra 10% defense, is probably worth it over the Power of Gaia. Okay. So I think that's 3 levels. It does only say 1, but that definitely made him more. It was definitely more than 1. He's at 3 now. That's very exciting. All right. So after a brief level up, he's sitting at 700 attack, 1210 defense. Crazy. 697, 1210. 697, 1210. Oh my god. 1,648, 2,421. So I was very happy with the Nochlum that we had after condensing him down. Now I did get a notification for a supply drop coming down and there was a rampaging Massander over here. So I figured, let's do it. Let's try and kill this guy so that we can go ahead and get some Predator cores and make our backpack upgrade. It's only taken us another 50 days from our original timeline, but hey, if we can get the Predator cores, I'll take them happily. So thankfully we were able to kill the Massander and grab the supply drop with the Predator cores. Oh, we got 3 more inventory slots. That's pretty cool. I'll take it. I also continued out in the snow biome, eventually coming across Lyleen Noct and trying to capture her. Thankfully, I was successful in capturing her, and I did also check out the chests in the area around her where we actually found our first legendary blueprint. Well, I don't know if it's a legendary blueprint. Yeah, legendary. For a semi-auto shotgun schematic. Now, this gun is really good and it was going to stick with us to the end. Especially considering it was a legendary. I was very happy to get this gun schematic, so we wanted to make that up. However, first I wanted to get to the top of the Free Pal Alliance Tower so that we could fast travel out here when we were ready to face Victor and Shadowbeak. Small climb up some mountains and I was able to get to the fast travel point and I could make my way back to the base. Alrighty, here we go guys. We're going to go up against Frostallion. Oh, I didn't realize she was level 60. We're going to go against Frostallion because I want to capture her so that we can breed her with Anubis and hopefully get Bastigor, which is that new bear looking dude, because we want him part of our party. So we're going to begin the fight to try and take down the mighty Frostallion and hopefully catch her. We do have some ultimate spheres as well as some legendary spheres, so I'm hoping that's enough to catch her. Let's start the process of whittling her down. Oh shit, she just straight up murdered Blaze Armor. I wasn't expecting that. Let's throw the big boy out. Yep, she hit us with the double ice spike attack. Okay, we've got a 10% chance to catch it with our handful of spheres that I keep continuously wasting. Bro, they're hitting it on the head. Why are they not registering? So after failing to capture Frostallion, I decided to head back to the Gobfin farm, and we found a lucky Gobfin out here. Now I was going to try and catch more of these guys because obviously they'll increase our attack damage while in our party, and the more you condense them, the better that attack damage is for yourself. I also went ahead and decided to test out this new low level oil rig. I mean, and it wasn't too bad. Like, obviously I'm level 56, so I definitely should be heading towards the higher level oil rigs. But for like, when you're lower level, I feel like this is a pretty solid entry point into figuring out how the oil rigs work and all that sort of stuff. We got some decent-ish stuff, nothing crazy, but I mean, considering for what you would be doing at the level that you were, it was pretty decent stuff. All right, we've hit level 56, and now we can get into Hexalite, which is wonderful. We just have to go to Feybreak Island to actually get the chromite and the hexalite quartz, and we can now make the metal detector as well, which is perfect, and the gigantic furnace. Cool. Ooh, we need a lot of polymer. Amplasteel. That's fine, we can get all that covered. It's just going to take us a little bit of time. I then went back to hatching Noclum eggs when I got an unexpected surprise passive skill. Oh shit, Demon God. Let's go. I'm pretty sure that's one of the best new passive skills right now. We also got a Ferocious on one too, so... Demon God. We got Demon God. Shit. 30 attack, 5 defense. Oh, man. I kind of want to breed this into my Noclum now. Alright, here we go. We're going to take on Victor and Shadowbeak. Let's see how we go. We've got Xeno-Guard to back us up and our new shotgun, so I think we'll be fine, to be honest. And our Gobfin in our inventory as well, in our party, just to boost our attack a little bit. I mean, he's already doing a shit ton of damage. That freeze, look at that. Oh my god, the shotgun. I can see why it's stronger than the other one, for the fire rate is absolutely insane. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the first times that I felt confident fighting one of these tower bosses, to be completely honest with you. I feel like we're doing a really solid amount of damage to it. I'll be honest, I think 100% of this battle goes to purely just Noclum's power. Our shotgun's dealing decent damage, but his attacks are hidden for monstrous amounts with the Steel Guardian mode. And just like that, Victor and Shadowbeak are defeated. Noclum didn't even sweat. Alrighty guys, we were just hatching some eggs up. Whoa! Just hatching some eggs up, and we finally got what we wanted. Boom. Demon God. Diamond Body. Serenity. Earth Emperor. Let's go. Now, some extra things have happened as well. I didn't get the recording of it, but we managed to get a Meteorite in the volcano drop, getting a Xeno-Guard, which is the opposite gender of the two males that we had. So we've now got those guys breeding as well, because I do want to run Xeno-Guard in the party as well. Stop it, I don't care. Okay. Maximize the rank of a pal. So we have a max ranked Noclum. Look at that. Level 5 Steel Guardian mode. We're going to chuck in a bunch of souls into it as well now. Just because, well, he's definitely staying in the party. I don't think... I'm very happy with what his passives are. Sure, we could swap Earth Emperor for something else, but I mean, Noclum is going to be our Earth type, so I'm not too worried about that. Cool. Fully thingy with 27 souls in him. I'm happy with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try and get a Yakumo. So for that, what we're going to be doing is breeding Noclum and Penking. That should result in us getting Azumane, and then from Azumane, we can breed Azumane with the Tiefin and get the Yakumo. Alright, here we go. We got our first batch of eggs from Penking and Noclum. Hopefully we get good Azumane passive skills on them. Let's see what we get. We did Azumane. Oh, there's the Demon God. I'll take the Demon God. Can we get a Demon God and Diamond Body? I'll take that. Demon God, Diamond Body, Earth Emperor. That's not bad. We could potentially build the Earth Emperor out of it. I'll take that. I'm happy with those. And there's another one. Before we breed the Azumane with the Tiefin, we're going to breed them together to try and get Serenity brought into that as well. So This is the female that has Serenity. This one has Demon God, Diamond Body, and Earth Emperor. So if we can get rid of the Earth Emperor for the Serenity, that'd be perfect. Or we could try and get all three of them in there. I'm not really too fussed on it. Oh, we got a Ferocious Tiefant. That's actually... yeah, that's pretty good. Because we can chuck that on the... And that'd give him an extra 20 attack. That's pretty good. I'm happy with the Ferocious if we don't find anything else. Got Swift on a Cremis. That's pretty good. Alright, cool. So we got a Demon God, Earth Emperor, Diamond Body, Serenity, Azumane. Hoping we can get the Earth Emperor gone with Ferocious from the Tiefant. And that should hatch Yakumos for us, which should be able to give us Demon God, Diamond Body, and Ferocious and Serenity, so that we can capture powers with those traits. I'm hoping anyway that's the case. We have a lot of Tiefants now, and I don't know what the hell to do with them all. I'm just out here minding my own damn business, and we got a raid of freaking loser wannabe pal genetic researchers. Please arm it. Please deal with them. Ain't got the time to deal with this. Okay. Well, that was as entertaining as this was, fellas. I think you should call it quits there. I then returned to try and catch myself a Frostallion. Now, I didn't realize that with this new update, all legendary powers had actually gone up to level 70. So this time, I came slightly more prepared with more ammunition and more fire powers, hoping that we could capture ourselves a Frostallion. Come on, I'm out of powers. Surely we can catch this. I'm almost out of balls too. Let's go. I've got one more Ultimate Sphere left. Down to legendaries. Come on, this is it. This is the one. I know it. Yes! Let's go. Frostallion Core. Legend, Ice Emperor, and Sadist. Oh, beautiful. Last egg. Got it. Serenity, Ferocious, Demon God, Diamond Body. Perfect. That's what we wanted. That is exactly what we wanted. There's our Frostallion. Look at that. Legend. That's what we want. We want Legend now. So I don't know if we can breed that into... It's not a bad Frostallion, to be honest. I don't know if we can breed that into these guys. That does not look comfortable. I don't know if this is a prerequisite or not. I feel kind of bad for Yakumo. I'm pretty sure this is animal abuse. Now, I wanted to try and test out Yakumo, so I found a Saline that had landed down with a meteor, and I was trying to capture her while Yakumo was out. He had been condensed a little bit with the other Yakumos that weren't successful with the traits. However, he was killed by these bloody pricksters. So unfortunately we didn't get the Saline, so I headed out and found another one, and thankfully was able to capture this one without getting bombarded by prickster attacks. And some of the traits did actually transfer from Yakumo to the Saline, which I was pretty happy about. We did get Diamond Body on Saline, however, we wanted everything else. But it was cool to see that it was actually working, so I was pretty happy with that. And so I continued catching powers that I wanted to breed up, such as the Xenogard here, which thankfully managed to get Demon God and Ferocious as well, so we could hopefully breed that into our Xenogard lines. I then also upgraded our base again, reaching base level 25, and this allowed us to have 4 max bases on the map, which was great. Now that I had 4 max bases, I could finally set up a raid boss base, so I headed out to a location that I really enjoyed and set it up as a raid boss, fighting my first raid boss, Bellanoir. She's got 294,000 HP. Oh shit, okay. I think we'll be okay to beat her. Let's throw out Nocklum here. Oh my god, okay, she's getting destroyed. She's only a level 30 raid boss, so I mean it makes sense, but it fills me with joy to see that these guys are absolutely destroying her, you know? Just makes me happy. It's the little things. I definitely don't think we'll be up to par on taking out like Blaze Armored Ryu and stuff like that, but I'm fairly confident that we could probably take out Bellanoir Libero if we have enough of her things. So I might give that a go after this one. Alright, cool, we killed her. 1 ancient civilization core. Is that all we fucking get? God damn it. Oh, we're going to be here for a while then. You guys picked a really shitty time to show up. For yourselves, by the way. So we managed to kill Bellanoir again, and then we went back to breeding as well. Breeding our Frostallion and Anubis, trying to get a Bastigor hatched up. And thankfully, with this combination, we were able to get our very first Bastigor. However, it was going to be a very long journey in order to get the passive traits that we wanted to get on him. It was then time to face Bellanoir Libero. She's got almost double the health, which means she's going to have double the stats, which means we're going to see a lot of damage. Not from our powers, from her. Oh my god. Oh my god, my computer. I mean, honestly, surprisingly, more than I was expecting. Like, she's getting chunked pretty solidly. Nocklam, you want to do something, buddy? You're just running around after me. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive the amount of damage we're doing. None of our powers have died yet, which is very surprising. I was expecting them to die straight away. Kind of need to protect the power box, though. I will be thoroughly impressed if we pull this off. Okay, she did that attack. I don't think we're going to pull it off. Unfortunately, she was too powerful for me and my powers to take, so I was unable to defeat her. So, back to breeding and capturing more powers with the traits that we needed. Alrighty guys, we just finished out here capturing an Anubis, and we actually managed to catch him, and he got the Ferocious and the Demon God from our Yakumo, which means we should be able to get this onto our Bastigor now. And here is the Anubis right here. So yeah, he got Ferocious and Demon God, Earth Emperor and Hydromaniac, but we want these two on the Bastigor, so we're going to go swap him out now with our current one that I think has Work Slave on it. Alright, here we go. First egg with our new Anubis in. Let's see what we get. We got Demon God. That's a good sign. Alright, so we have a bunch of eggs ready to go. I need to make more cakes up because I didn't realize how quick Blazama would burn through the cakes. He's got Philanthropist, but we have a bunch of ice Bastigor eggs, so we've split some up to breed together, and then we've still got the Anubis and the Frostallion breeding together. So let's head back to the base, get all these hatched up, take a look at them. Hopefully we get some decent stuff. Okay, so we've got a male demon god, and a female demon god, and then we've got a legend and ferocious. Nice legend and demon god. We've finally done it. After days of breeding, we have our Bastigor with all 4 of our passive skills that we wanted. Legend, Ferocious, Musclehead, and Demon God. Putting him at 222 attack. Now, I don't know what his IVs are like, but honestly, at this point, I don't really care. I don't really care. I'm just really glad that we've got it. Oh, look at all these Bastigors. Look at them all. So many. So we're going to condense it down. We're still breeding for the Xenovaders, but I mean, I've got one more egg. Let's pop this. You watch it be the same thing. Ah, no. Alright, that's cool. Surprisingly, not as many as I thought. I thought we were going to hit that 64 if I'm completely honest. But that should be 3 stars for him. Alrighty guys, we are just gearing up to head over to the new Feybreak Island. I've just gone ahead and made a bunch of stuff. I'm now making the metal detector, since we have everything we need to make it, and we're going to head over there and see what we can find. So our team at the moment currently consists of a Massander, a very low level Xenogard, Fanglo, Nocklam, and Yakumo. I'm banking on these 3 to pretty much protect us. We've got Massanders breeding, we've got our new Bastigor breeding to try and get a Massander with all of the traits that we want. So the Demon Lord, Ferocious, Musclehead, and Legend. So they're currently breeding up at the other base. So we're going to head over to the island, which I believe is all the way down here. So we have quite a journey to go. Hopefully we can make it. I'm just trying to think. We don't have a flyer, so we might need to invest in a flyer. I've gone this entire time without using a flyer for anything, so I feel like we might need to get... Oh, we have a Frostallion. We can use Frostallion to get over there. Oh, remarkable craftsmanship. I don't know what that is, but that sounds promising. Let's go. We've got our Massander that we wanted. Demon God, Legend, Musclehead, and Ferocious. Now's a good time to catch the Lyleens, though. I don't know why Nocklam's having such a hard time dealing with all of these. I'm always surprised that I don't hit this 64 mark. Like, I genuinely thought I've bred that many of them. I'm always a little bit surprised. I wonder how it's going to be for the Xenogard, to be honest, but let's condense down. Alrighty, and we have finally made it across to Feybreak Island. So first thing we need to do is get a fast travel point. However, it does look like there's a camp up there which might have the missiles, so I might destroy that first. But at the same time, I don't know if that's a good idea because we've got no way to get over here except the way we just came, and it's a very long way across. So I'm not sure. I think they're going to target me on thingy as well. Yeah, okay. So we have to actually go on foot. I left my Fanglope at home. I didn't bring my Massander's saddle with me, so I'm a bit of a dum-dum. So I went ahead and tried to disable this first tower so I could hopefully ride Frostallion around a bit and get my first travel point so that if something happened, I wouldn't have to try and swim all the way back out here. Thankfully, I did destroy this first tower. However, these new NPC human enemies were actually quite tough. They were taking quite a few shots from my shotgun, so I was quite surprised at how strong they were. But we still managed to defeat them and disable the tower.
Alright, we got the fast travel point, which means we can go back and get rid of Frostallion for our Fanglode, which will be great. Alright, let's do some exploring, see if we can find some of the, I think it's Chromite? Is that what we're looking for? Potentially catch some new pals. I'm not really too fussed on the Gildanes, to be honest. They look cool, but I'm just not the biggest fan of them. Alright, let's go do our first Feybreak cave. Ooh, level 58. This might be a challenge. I don't think I even have any spheres to capture anything at the end of this. Oh, we got some exciting guys back here. We got a Splatterina. Oh, Jesus. Tyrantras? I would like the Splatterina. Except I killed her. Whoopsie daisies. So we're out of spheres. So hopefully the thing at the end isn't that great. Oh, we found some Chromite. And another one. It's a Warsect Terror. I'm not really too fussed about killing a Warsect Terror. Let's throw out our new Missandei, see how he goes. Alright, boss of our first dungeon defeated. Solid first dungeon run, I reckon. I'm pretty happy with how we performed. I need to bring more balls though, so that we can actually catch whatever's in the dungeons, because I think we only got one Starion and wasted a whole heap of balls and stuff. Oh look, Ultimate Spheres. What can I drop? Horns. There we go, we got some more catching power. I really hope that fast travel point isn't all the way up the top. Oh no, it's there. Whew! I was going to say, this island's got some verticality to it, and I don't have a flyer, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to do things. Alright, we just had a supply drop land down, kind of next to us. We've been mining up some Hexalite quartz to get quartz so we can make the... I can't even remember what it's called. Ooh, but that was a pretty decent one, if I do say so myself. We got some Chromite, we got some Midalexes, and some spheres as well, so that's pretty good. Okay, there is a lot of bad guys trying to get me. I think I'm just going to run past them for the time being.
So I returned back to base and we needed to build a new furnace so that we could actually start getting some of this Hexalite. But this furnace was huge and I didn't really have a space for it. Thankfully I was able to just demolish my old furnace and we could place the new gigantic furnace down and get our guys in there building that up and then smelting the new Hexalite into the new Hexalite quartz into Hexalite so we could get all of the new stuff from our new levels.
We can already make 40 of it. We're already out of the Hexalite quartz. I'm surprised we have that much Chromite though, to be honest. That's pretty good. Alright, we just hit max level. Let's go. Oh shit, look at this. This is really nice. Crystallized ancient tree. This looks sick. Here would be a really cool base spot. Although in saying that, I haven't seen too many pals since we've been down in this cave, so I'm not sure where they all are, but this is a really cool base spot. Apparently there's a boss down here. Thingy pal. Let's go take a look. Oh, there it is. Do we just must have run past it, I guess? Beast of Salvation, Cjthecheesedj. Okay, I kind of don't like walking around, swimming around in the water. Let's see if we can kill this thing and capture it. Oh yeah. We got this in the bag, easy. I would like it if I didn't have to swim though. Oh my god. This is our first time seeing Bastagor in battle and he just absolutely did a shit ton of damage to it. Okay, I'm gonna have to put him away. He's gonna kill the damn thing. Alright, let's go. I should have thrown Yakumo out. I'm dumb.
So after capturing Cjthecheesedj, I then continued exploring the island, just marveling at how nice it was to look at. This is probably one of their nicest places on Palworld. Eventually I stumbled across a cave and found a friendly pal tamer as well here, and they just happened to give me an applied gathering technique, which was a book that actually increased the pal's gathering rate by 1. So I was pretty happy receiving that from this guy. I then continued disabling towers that were in the area so we could hopefully try and enable flying. And I also freed a Smoky from a cage so that we got our first Smokies and we could potentially use him to detect any Chromite. Now I continued making my way around the island and eventually I found a Dazzy Noct and this was actually a nest with all the Dazzynocts here. So I got to work at clearing that out. Now I did want to try and capture the Dazzynoct at the end of it, but Nocklum kind of had other plans in mind and absolutely decimated the entire Dazzynoct population, which, I mean, that's okay. It's not the worst thing that could happen, but I mean, I was still looking forward to rather capturing that instead. Now, I did go into another cave, and thankfully I was able to capture a Splatterina this time in this cave. I did have Yakumo out with me. However, the Splatterina didn't get all 4. She only received 2, the Ferocious and Diamond Body. And then at the end of the cave, there was a Gildane waiting for us, ready to battle. So I killed the Gildane, collected the loot from the dungeon, and made my way out of the cave.
Let's go.
I then continued exploring Feybreak Island and found a lucky Nyafia. Now, I did have Yakumo with me, so I was trying to capture her. I did use the last of my spheres, however, to capture her, but we managed to, and I was happy with that, and she did receive the muscle head from our Yakumo. I then returned back to the base, getting more Hexalite crafted up. We were actually going through that Hexalite quartz. It was just swallowing the amounts of quartz that we needed. I then went ahead and took a look at what I could make, and I realized that I was going to need 20 ancient civilization cores for the large-scale electric egg incubator and the new shields. There was no way I was going to get all those cores, so I was like, oh, don't think this is going to happen. I then finally managed to get a Xeno-Guard that was worthy of being part of the party with the passive skills of Demon God, Impatient, Musclehead, and Ferocious. Now, Impatient was pretty much a weaker version of Serenity, giving us a 15% active skill cooldown. So I went ahead and condensed the Xeno-Guard, managing to hit the 64 slots, and look how many Xeno-Guards I still had left. That's how long we had been breeding this guy for. We had been breeding him for ages. So I condensed him down, and then I eventually put souls in him as well, making him one of our stronger pals as well. Now, I went to go into one of the boss realms, however I realized we couldn't actually do it because we needed particular bounty tokens first. So this is when I realized that we were going to need to kill pretty much every single boss pal on Feybreak Island to be able to actually complete it. So, I had a lot of work to do.
Let's go ahead and cure up some more of the Hexalite. We're bringing in quite a decent amount of it now, 20. This bloody Hexalite quartz though takes up so much, you need to farm that constantly. But I mean, we've got 80 bars of it now, so I'm pretty happy about that. 1868 attack. That is crazy. Oh. Oh. Xeno-Guard is kind of shit. Spent all that fucking time breeding and it's kind of shit. Look at that attack. Oh, I mean, it is only level 39, so maybe as we... Okay. I jumped to conclusions a little bit too quickly. Maybe once we get it to the same level, it'll be a little bit better. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to raise Bastigor's... we're going to use souls to raise him up, so let's do that.
Now, I continued exploring Feybreak Island, hacking any towers that I came across and freeing any of the powers that we stumbled on. And then I found this big chungus lad. Silvergus. Now, Silvergus was a really cool looking dragon type pal, and obviously I wanted him part of the team. So I had to weaken him down, and then I made it my mission. I needed to capture this guy just because of how badass he looked. As well as that, he had a really sick attack where he would grant a huge shield in front of him. Thankfully, I was able to capture him and I looted the chests in his caves, and then I continued hacking any of the towers that I found and killing any of the pals that I came across, including any of the bounty NPCs that we came across, such as Pinch here, the Serial Borrower. I think the name speaks for itself. So we were able to kill Pinch with the help of Xeno-Guard, and we were able to collect his bounty tokens. Now, I was able to find a Rabani Botan, and it got absolutely nuked. But it was one of the requirements. I needed its medallion, and then I found a Gildane as well out in the wild. It took me a little bit to find, and once I was able to find it, me and Missandei made very quick work of it. However, Missandei did decide to take a little bit of a break and tried to jump away for some reason, and I was able to capture the Gildane as well. Heading back to base, making a bunch of Hexalite, as I did spend some time mining up some of the Hexalite quartz out in Feybreak Island. and all of my pals at the base were starving and dying because I forgot to feed them. Thankfully, I did have some minestrone ready to go for them, and then I was able to satiate their hunger. Now, with my new Hexalite, I was able to make the advanced bow as well as the ammunition for the bow, and this thing was an absolute weapon. It did a lot of damage. Now, I continued back out to Feybreak Island, but this time, however, I wasn't continuing with my normal team. I had a bunch of Bastigors and Xenoguards in my party instead, and these guys were all level 1s. However, these guys were the ones that did have decent passive skills because I was trying to level them up so that we could use them for the raid fights that were eventually going to come ahead. Obviously, we still had Bellanoir Libero to kill, we had Blazamit Ryu to try and kill, and the Xenolord itself to try and kill as well. So I spent some time killing the alpha pals located across the island, going with Starion, and then finding Foxparks, Christ as well to capture. I finally made it to the top of this mountain as well to try and defeat the Nyafias that were located up here. Once again, I needed her medallion because you couldn't actually even get into the boss tower without the necessary medallions. And those medallions were locked behind those boss areas that you needed other medallions to get to. So I figured the best way to do it was to literally kill every single pal on the island so that we could get every single medallion and not miss anything. So thankfully I was able to capture this Nyafia as well, so we managed to net ourselves an extra pal in the process too. I then faced an Azumane, however, as you can see from my health, I didn't have any because I ran out of food. So the Azumane literally one-shot me, but I returned and captured an Amaskul as well. That was a lucky one, so thankfully we were able to capture that, and then I returned to defeat the Azumane. I didn't really bother trying, I did try to capture it, but I failed miserably, so I just decided to kill it because I already had some Azumanes back at the base as well. I continued my domination of Feybreak Island by killing this Alpha Splatterina in a cave so that we could get her medallion, and then I continued on the island destroying another one of the towers and freeing the pals that were located within. Then I stumbled across a village, well, a dilapidated, destroyed village where I got blasted by a rocket launcher and died. On that, I returned back to base to take a look at how our breeding was going, and our Wampos, who we had left on breeding before we went to Feybreak, were going crazy. We had so many eggs from these guys, it was great. I also had a bunch of eggs ready to go for Blazamit as well, as I was trying to breed Blazamit so that we could use the Blazamits against Bjorn at the final tower. I then returned back to my body to try and defeat the NPC human bounty that actually nuked me. This guy had a rocket launcher, so I severely underestimated him and he started blasting me, and I was slightly surprised at how much damage he was able to do to me. So I was going to need to be careful defeating Cash. Thankfully I was able to kite him around this wall and I managed to defeat him before he blew me up with his rocket launcher. I then went ahead and killed the Dazzy Knocked Alpha Pal that was nearby in the area as well. As I had found this area, it has been filled of other pals, and that was where the Feybreak Tower was. Thankfully, I was able to grab the fast travel point, but I still had a few more alpha pals to kill. So I started off with Prunelia, who was located in one of those sort of boss portal areas that we were talking about that we needed the medallions for. She wasn't too difficult. Me and Suzaku were able to defeat her with ease, even though Suzaku wasn't one of our main pals. I then headed into another cave to try and get some levels for these guys and just to try and get some slab fragments so we could eventually do the Xeno-Lord raid boss as well. And I fought a Nyafia located within here as well and made very quick work of her. This shotgun that I had made was doing a lot of damage to pretty much any pals that we were coming across. Next up was defeating Warsect Terror. Now, Warsect Terror is a big, bulky boy. He had a lot of defense, but we were still able to make pretty short work of him. We didn't have the proper typing to fight him. However, with my shotgun, I was able to capture him. And then it was Fanglope Lux's turn. So I figured what better way to defeat it than with its own species. So we used Fanglope here to try and defeat Fanglope Lux. And you can see here, this bow and arrow just does so much damage as well. I did waste a ball trying to capture it, and then after I missed it, I was like, stuff it, we're going to kill you. Then it was Faleris Aqua turn, and once again, just me and Fanglope absolutely decimating this. The newest bow that they added just does so much damage. This was the base version as well. This didn't have any extra blueprints or anything like that I crafted it from, and I was able to capture a Faleris Aqua as well that actually had a really good passive skill on it. Then it was Tyrantrus's turn. However, I needed Frostallion to actually get up here because it was high up on a mountainside, and there was no way for me to make it up there without a flying pal. Frostallion Nog made very quick work of the Tyrantrus, and I was able to just finish it off with my bow as well, trying to capture it in the process, because why not? I gave up once the first ball failed. Then it was Frostallion Noc's turn. Now, I did have some Xeno-Guards with me, because like I said before, I was trying to level them up. I missed my first arrow, embarrassingly. But me and Xeno-Guard then got to work. Frostallion Noct was a legendary pal, so it was at level 60. It was difficult. It was one of the harder pals that we had to defeat on Feybreak Island, but me and Xeno-Guard slowly whittled it down, utilizing some of the other pals as well that I had, and eventually we were able... I did try to capture Frostallion Noct, but I only had 4 legendary spheres to actually try and capture it with. So you can imagine how well that went. Eventually running out of spheres, I had no choice but to kill Frostallion Noct before it actually killed me. Thankfully, me and my bow and my Xeno-Guards were able to kill Frostallion Noct. That was close. Oh, I killed it! I then headed out and went to defeat Kitsune Noct. I did have a couple of Ultra Spheres here, but I mean, I didn't think I was going to be able to capture him. I had a 5% chance of capturing it, so I decided just to murder it instead. Fanglo, killing please. Fine, I'll do it myself. Alright, so we've got a bunch of eggs here. We're hoping that we can get the legend trait bred into our Blaze Armets, just so then we can breed it with another Blaze Armet that we have that has like Ferocious and the Flame Emperor. So we've got the eggs here that will hatch. Hopefully one of these come out with legend. Okay, not great start, but I mean there is a couple more eggs. Slightly better. That's not too bad. Legend and Vanguard is pretty good. We don't really need the Ice Emperor, but I'll take what I have. That's actually big. We just got a Philanthropist Bastigor, which means we can breed. I'm going to do that. Let's chuck the Philanthropist Bastigor in instead, and we'll use that. Where is he? Legend. We lose Ferocious, but if we can get Philanthropist and still have Demon God on it, like that's a thing I'm willing to sacrifice. Apparently we've got some Totokos that want to die invading the base. I don't know what they're going to do, but I mean it's going to be entertaining to watch them blow up, I guess. G'day, fellas. Totoko Hit Squad is on the move. Has been neutralized. They really posed a threat to us just then. That was terrifying. I'm shaking in my boots. So I'm struggling to get some ice organs. So you know what I figured? I'd figured we'd sacrifice some unsuspecting victims. We have a lot of pen gullets. Look at them. They don't even know their demise is at hand. Poor little sots. Oh, look at all of those ice organs we've got coming in now. How wonderful is that? Oh, look at the poor Penkings. So I needed the ice organs to make up a Bastigor saddle, which I was able to do. And then I headed back out to Feybreak Island, just finishing the last few PAL bosses that I had left to kill. So it was that Amass School, this Cryolinx Terra, and a couple of other guys that we hadn't gone into the portals to defeat yet. But they weren't really posing too much of a threat at this stage, as we had been breeding our pals for quite a bit of time now, and we were coming to the end of the 100 days. So a lot of our pals were able to kind of stomp these wild pals. When we get to the tower bosses and stuff like that, it was a different story, but for now, these guys were doing a very decent job of defeating any pals that we came across. I feel bad for killing Smokey. He's so cute and adorable. He doesn't deserve this, but he has to die. Now, I defeated Smokey in the boss room. Next up was Nightmare, so I managed to get a sneaky little attack in with Xeno-Guard before I could jump off and finish her with my bow and Xeno-Guard, just casually murdering her. Like I said, these guys were super easy to kill. Alright, we've got a decent stack of Hexalite now, so we've got 142 of it, but we're really lacking on the plasteel department. Those 2 oil generators out in the field, they're just not generating enough oil for us to use. And like, I mean, we did just use some plasteel here to make some spheres up, but I do want to make this Hexalite helmet that we've got here, but plasteel is just holding us back. I mean, granted, we don't have quite a lot of Hexalite either, but, oh, it's just annoying. But see, we need plasteel for everything. So after talking about my problems, I then headed back out to the volcano with Yakumo to try and capture a Blazarmet that would have the traits that we wanted, so we could hopefully breed it into our Blazarmet line, because I think we were really going to struggle with Bjorn and Bastagor if we didn't have a really solid Blazarmet. So I at least wanted Demon, God, Legend, and Ferocious on it. I didn't get that. But we continued breeding our Blazarmets. We managed to get an internal engine Blazarmet. That's not really what we were wanting. So at the moment we were breeding our Bastagors, our Blazarmet, and our Suzaku with another thing that would result in us receiving Blazarmet. Then I took the time to go and fight Seiya and Lyleen. I hadn't actually fought them yet. I'd completely forgot about them because I was so focused on Feybreak Island. So I returned back to them to try and face them down and defeat them with our brand new team of pals.
Okay, not gonna lie, they took out my Xenoguards pretty damn quickly. Well, that didn't go as planned.
So after losing to Seiya, I returned back to the base to sacrifice more of my Penkings for more ice organs, because I was really lacking on them and we needed a bunch of them. And then it was time to make the cold resistant Hexalite armor. So that was going to increase our defense, and this was probably the highest tier of armor that we could potentially get in this 100 days. I did want to make the new shields, but there was no way I was going to be able to get the ancient civilization cores that I needed for them, which was unfortunate.
I think she's just casually forgotten that my Xenoguard is back there just absolutely hammering the shit out of her with all these dragon moves, because she's solely focused on me right now and has been for literally the last of her 100,000 HP. This isn't even my good Xenoguard. And she is dead. That'll do us. Let's go. Much smoother. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and summon Bellanoir Libero. I want one of those. I don't want to waste them all. Let's do it. Here we go. We've got our army of Xenoguards ready to go. Let's... Oh, God. She's already just straight up blasting me with her spell. Okay, I mean, honestly, going pretty damn solidly so far. I did level up a bunch of our Xenoguards in order to hopefully get this done, so I'm pretty impressed so far with how they're performing. She's getting stun locked pretty hard. Honestly, kind of want to do this back to back. Look at them all lined up over there, just blasting her with dragon attacks. It's so good. It doesn't look like our dudes are taking too much damage, to be honest. That Sylvagus looks like it's taken a lot of the damage. Oh my God. You can tell all their attacks have come back up because she's just taken so much damage. Where'd she go? Get her, fellas. Oh shit. Okay, we're all frozen now. Oh, what? She just restored all her half her health. I didn't see that coming. Okay, we've got injuries now. Oh, she's changed to ice. The fuck? Oh shit, since when was that a thing? I had no idea she changed to ice. Get in there, big man. I don't think I have any fire types. I'm just throwing in whatever I have, literally. Hopefully that's enough to kill her. I mean, she's almost dead. She just wiped out literally everyone that we just put straight in. Looks like it's just her and Nochlum at the moment. I mean, our bow and arrow, though, is doing some serious damage to her. I think me and Nochlum honestly can finish her off. Alright, she's dead. Let's go, we killed her. Good job, big man. 100% Nochlum. Woo! Let's crack open her egg. Siren of the Void and Noble. I don't remember what Siren of the Void does, but it sounds powerful.
Oh shit, 30% increase in dark attack damage, 30% increase in ice attack damage. That's really strong. Ooh. Philanthropist, Serenity, Legend, Flame Emperor. That's actually really good. Alrighty, we've got our Blaze Armor that we're going to run with. It's this one here. So it's got Legend, Ferocious, Flame Emperor, and Philanthropist. I'd like to have ideally gotten rid of Philanthropist, but I just don't have enough time to keep going. So that's the one we're going to level up. We're going to level up these Bastigors as well. Actually, I might swap out a Bastigor for a Blaze Armor. There we go. And we're just going to go ahead and level these guys up a little bit so that we can go ahead and get prepared to take on Bjorn. Look at all the Blaze Armors we've got. Let's condense down. Nice. All right, Blaze Armor is level 5, level 4, 5. That's exciting. We can also ride it. So our game plan now is we are going to go face Bjorn and Bastigor. We're going to see how we go. This is going to be our team here. I should probably bring more Blaze Armors, but I mean, I feel like one should be enough if we're paying attention. We should be able to dodge and everything like that, so we should be okay. We've got our pendants on. I think everything will be okay. Let's go give it a shot. Yeah, alright, that was pretty badass, not gonna lie. That was pretty sick. Okay. That's good to see. Oh, I didn't change his bloody moves. I actually don't think we're going to be able to beat him, to be honest. I don't think we beat him. We've only done 80,000 damage in 2 minutes, which I don't think it's enough. Yeah, I don't think it's enough. I don't think we're going to beat him. Damn. For our first attempt, I mean, I guess it went okay, but like, we just weren't dealing enough damage. Oh, we got it! Legend, Ferocious, Serenity, Flame Emperor. We got it. Let's go. That's the Blaze Armor that we wanted. Perfect. So after losing to Bastigor, I obviously got the Blaze Armor that I was after, but then I returned out into the Gobfin area to get a bunch of Gobfins so that I could actually condense down and increase my attack damage with my bow and my shotgun. So I spent quite a bit of time catching a bunch of Gobfins and eventually condensed them all down into one Gobfin, and I had a bit more power this time around. Now my game plan going forward was to bring 3 Gobfins and my Blaze Armor and Knuckle, as well as some Broncherry fried noodles to increase the attack damage of myself and my pals, and I was hoping that this was gonna be enough to defeat Bastigor and Bjorn this time around. That's already a big difference in damage, 2,269. We were only hitting for about 1,800 before, I think. Oh yeah, now we're dealing damage. With the Broncherry fried noodles, this should be sweet. This is definitely going better than the last attempt. So far, it looks like we're on track to actually beat him, which is very surprising. This is going to be very close. Blaze Armor and
Nochlum are very low on HP, so I've got to be a bit careful on how I throw them out here. Try and dodge any instances of damage. This should be an end. We're very close to it. I can feel it. We've got 3 minutes left. Come on, Blaze Armor. Don't let me down now. Let's go, big fella. That should be it. He's targeting me, so I think we should be in the clear. Let's go. Bjorn and Bastigor. Oh, shit. And that's it. We beat him. Let's freaking go. Oh, man. Blaze Armored and Nochlum coming in clutch there. Woo! We did it. Oh, we take that. Let's go. Feybreak Island is officially completed. Ooh, all right. Now we've just got to do the Xeno-Lord raid. I want to see if we can get that done. We've got a bunch of Bastigors. We're going to see if we can get them to defeat Xeno-Lord. All right, here we go. We've got the summoning altar. It's day 100. We are going to give our best shot at beating Xeno-Lord. I have no idea how well this is going to go. I am slightly fearful, I'm not going to lie, but I think we should be okay. We have quite a few Bastigors. Obviously, this is a level 60 raid, I think. Yeah. Level 60 raid. So we're going to sort. We're going to sort by level, by ice, sort, and then, yeah. So we should get Frostallions. We'll get our Bastigors, and we're just going to throw them all in. I'm going to throw, maybe we go like that just to see. I don't know if he's going to, how strong he's going to be. I don't know anything like that. Let's do it. Ugh, here we go. I'm shitting my pants. I'm not going to lie. Guys, we want to stop hitting the trees and go fight the freaking big-ass alien that's just invaded our base. I mean, they're doing pretty decent damage. Oh, shit. That's why I didn't throw out all my dudes, because he just did a big-ass beam attack that seemed to do a lot of damage. Yep, he just wiped out all of our Bastigors. Oh, that doesn't seem promising. Oh, shit. I did not prepare enough Bastigors for this. Holy smokes. Of course. What is this shit? I've got no more powers left. Oh god. Yeah, right. You guys can help out kill the Xeno-Lord, yeah? Go for it. Lol. I mean, there's no way we beat this guy. I was not prepared enough for this, that's for sure. Oh my god, we're just going to respawn back here. And there's a meteorite, everything's going on right now. Can't even get my shit. Just gonna throw out whatever we have at this point. I don't think we're gonna survive. Yeah, he's just incapacitating all of them. They're doing 1 damage. 1 ticket damage. That's so funny. Yeah, right. There is no way we beat this dude. He's a sick pal, though. And then he does a dive attack. That's so sick. It's a shame we can't beat him. I don't think we're out of time. It's the 100 days. We're out of time. I don't think we're not going to be able to beat him. I can definitely say that we gave it our best try. I mean, you know what? We've still got Xenoguards. Where the fuck is my power box? I just don't get a chance to... Yeah. I don't even get a chance to send out more powers because I'm dead. I'm dead! To be fair, putting the power box in the center of the area is probably not the smartest idea, considering we need to access it to let the powers out. I'm just trying to sort the box by Xenoguard so we could try and get some Xenoguards out. I'm going to throw out a Gobfin. Hopefully he can defend me. I can't even move. I've got 2 Xenoguards out. They're going to fight their boss. This is just constant death. I don't even know if they're doing anything because I don't even get the chance to before I die. It doesn't look like it. I think they're just getting... Oh no, there was a floater there. But I think they're just getting one shot. I didn't realize he was dark as well as dragon. So I think potentially these guys might do some damage to him. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'm not surviving long enough to get any out. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like they're really doing any damage. Oh shit, this is funny. There is nothing alive. He's just nuking everything. Makes sense being the invader from space. He's a really badass pal. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So, we're going to wrap it up there. There's no way we beat Xenolord. We did manage to complete Feybreak Island. We beat Bellanoir Libero and whatever her name was. So, I'll take that. So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this 100 days in Palworld Feybreak. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.